Twitch versus YouTube. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about which one's the better platform to be streaming on. But because my only experience has been on Twitch, I reached out to my buddy Big E, who is a well-documented YouTube streamer, to see if he'd be interested in having a sit-down conversation. Not an ego check or an angry debate.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
But an actual educated conversation about the pros and cons of both platforms.
We have no response. That was perfect.
This is how that conversation went. Oh, hello.
There we go. You good? Everything good? You started?
Oh, chat's vibing. We're good. I explained to them what's going on. Gave a little prerequisite. Said that you built your community out on the hub, an exponential. I gave them a quick rundown, and obviously, they know what it is. They know why they're here. A lot of content creators are in the house, which is super exciting to see. People who are just genuinely interested about the platforms.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm going to be honest. I've had a couple people reach out and want to do this conversation with me, but I just didn't think people were mature enough to have this conversation platform on platform. Mm-hmm. Like, you're live on Twitch right now. I'm live on YouTube. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot, like right now, I was just explaining in the chat that it's like a big battle thing. Like, people are looking at it so black and white, this versus that. Like, those are the only options. You stream here or you stream there, right? But like, as I know, there's so many options. And we need to look at these sites as tools and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, that's all they really are. It's just tools to help us as the creator share the information.
If you think about it from a business, so my background, right, before content creation is in financial services, but specifically what I do is I do business development. So I helped, at the time, financial advisors on how to grow their independent businesses, how to reach more clients, all things that translated very, very directly to building content creation here. And if you think about it from a business standpoint, what we do is we create a product, right? We create an output. The distribution model of that is the platform. So there are advantages and disadvantages to both distribution platforms as far as what is that output? What am I gaining when I choose one versus the other? And then not just where is it today? Because I think if you take pound for pound where are they at today, Twitch obviously has the upper hand, but it's more so if you think about it from a standpoint of, okay, let's think about this long term. Where is this 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Exactly.
And what platform is going to be the one that's worth investing in and worth continuing to explore? And that's what I'm excited about.
That's a lot of to give a backstory to because this is why I did want to talk about this live too. It will help some of your viewers. It'll help some of the new people that's transitioned to my channel. It'll help even some of the people, hopefully, that are just looking at this as just being a debate. People need to understand that I've been on Twitch for 6 years. The last month I switched, I was getting 70 to 80 viewers on just chatting streams. That was my big thing over there. Gaming streams, it would be 35 to 40, right? Mm-hmm. But I had hundreds of subscribers. Been doing it for years. So none of this is a hatred thing. None of this is an animosity. I never found any success over there. You know what I mean? This is all for years, actually, I defended Twitch a lot. When the whole Mixer thing happened, so many people came through. And I've been around social media for long enough to know everything has its peaks and valleys, just like in business, it does too. And what holds a lot of creators back is they sell, just like what we're seeing in the market right now. When things are low, they freak out, they switch. When everybody's talking Mixer's the next big thing, we got to switch now, everybody goes along with it because they're not growing on Twitch. I found amazing growth on Twitch when everybody switched. Everybody gave up. Thousands of people switch. So I've really stuck by Twitch for years, and I've had that strong community hold on Twitch for a long time and really backed it. And it was honestly just until this last year, really, these last 6 or 7 months, where I was just I'm not comfortable with some of the things they've been doing. So it's not a lot of people think it's just I'm causing an argument because I haven't had growth. I don't like Twitch, so I just want to hate on it. But in reality, it's because I've put a lot of my chips on Twitch for years, and I'm starting to see the reality on the back end of things that's making me a little nervous for what, you just said, for the future. Now, obviously, we can't predict stuff, so I'm not trying to say like Twitch is going to crash. Twitch is going to go downhill. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's very, very strongly backed. And Amazon's investing a lot of money into it.
Correct. And they know the value of what they have. They know the position that they have. I had somebody recently kind of ask me, do I think that, because Twitch is not technically profitable for Amazon, whether at some point they're going to sell it? And I was like, no, they wouldn't be investing the amount of money that they're in right now. They know what they have. And they're fine losing money because they know that they have the position. But never before has there been a platform that technologically can compete with them besides YouTube at this point. And the reason why is because YouTube already has so many of those components in place. Right? There's so many of the tech elements, from data storage to streaming services to even just interfaces and clean user interfaces to make it simplistic. These are things that a lot of people take for granted that are super complex when you're talking about running the business.
It takes companies years to be able to afford this process too.
Oh, and
you know what I mean?
Billions with a B.
I mean, like, people, I was not shocked with the Mixer situation.
No.
They were going up against strong competitors. But then on the flip side too, so that's a thing right now. I just actually had a meeting with YouTube Gaming 2 weeks ago. One of the things that I can say is these billion-dollar companies are not stupid. They know exactly what they need to do to compete with Twitch. They want, and they have the capital to do it. Like, and by all means, they do. They could, if tomorrow, everybody is always about the UI and stuff like that, which, in a second, I do want to dive into that. Like, it's not as bad as what people think, but like, everybody thinks that like they need to just switch immediately to just being a live stream platform. But what YouTube is trying to do is trying to integrate in a successful way the video and the live stream. Because honestly, no site has done that successfully together. It's, YouTube has always just been the video platform and Twitch has been the streaming platform. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year or two, we don't see
Twitch make a move.
Bingo. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize, I'm sure you're aware, but like talking ads on Twitch, you're right about like Amazon. They wouldn't be putting this much money. They know their investment. But the big thing with Amazon versus Google, which in reality, it's like if you're talking Twitch versus YouTube, it's really Google versus Amazon. Google has the sustainability of ad revenue. And that's why on YouTube, we get paid substantially more for ad revenue, right? Correct. And I'm sure you've seen that statistic that I showed, which no credit to me, that was all found from Devin Nash, about the payout from a lot of us are confused and we're like, man, these forced ads suck because they ruin your growth. They hurt your growth so much. On top of that, like, you don't get anything in return. Like, you're not making that much ad revenue. So I was like, oh, well, Twitch ads just suck. Well, no, it's because they're taking 90% of the commission. Well, the reason they're doing that is because they are trying to get into the ad game. Amazon wants to have their own ad game, just like Google has their own ad game. But in order to do that, how are you going to do that without watch time, without eyes? So them using Twitch
correct. Well, it's not a pound for pound comparison, right? I mean, it's Twitch is a streaming, kind of like you said, it's a streaming platform. So although it has millions of users, the reality is that's a penny on the dollar compared to the billions of users that are on YouTube. So YouTube's total ad revenue, the budget that comes in off of that from an influx standpoint, is much higher than Twitch will ever accomplish if they stay as just a streaming. Right. And the big thing I think people don't understand when it comes to ad revenue and why Twitch takes so much is, again, what we just mentioned, the excess amount of money that really goes into holding that platform. I don't think people understand the expense of that type of data storage and server interface. I mean, they literally create unlimited storage of your VODs. Obviously, it's a 30-day window when you're, just getting started. But even still, like, that's storage space that you get for free. Actually, if you're not making any money, that is quote unquote publicly storage. It's still stored on their servers. Yeah, correct. Everything from Twitch, even if you're not an affiliate, or I think that's where you get the past 30 days, right? Yeah, I think you get 60 or 90. But regardless, any clip, any VOD, anything is still stored. You can stream 12 hours a day with zero viewers, and they're going to store 100% of that for free for you. That right there is exponentially so expensive.
The downside that we just recently seen from that is the whole like, even the whole situation where even if you remove your clips and VODs, those are still stored. Right. And online, those can still be hit with DMCA, even though they're still not on your page, which is like, people don't, it's two mind-blowing things. One, it's mind-blowing that they would even allow that to happen. Like
regulators to come in and cease privately held storage.
Yeah. On the flip side. But then on the other side, people don't understand, like, dude, the overhead of the fact that Twitch has every single clip and VOD, whether it's on a person's page or not, if it's deleted or not, anything that's ever been streamed, recorded on Twitch is somewhere. It's still there. So like you said, the overhead, we had that whole conversation when everybody was like, the whole Dr. Disrespect thing, when he's like, when he got banned and everybody's like, him, Ninja, and so-and-so are making a stream. I'm like, Ninja just got 40 mil. I'm like, you don't realize, like, Microsoft, Bill Gates just lost the battle, and you want like with billions, it's just so people don't get the big picture.
There was an article that I posted recently that estimated that Twitch's expenses on the output was close to $1.8 billion in an annual basis.
Which is, dude, I wish I would. I came across this stat. Maybe it was Fwiz who put it out there. Some of the 2020 monetization came through. Essentially, dude, it was astonishing. I think it was like 390,000 people on YouTube in 2020 were able to go full time because of the amount of revenue that's going to the creators.
Yep.
To the creators. They actually, somebody on YouTube team actually publicly put out that in 2020 they were able to generate enough ad revenue to give, and this based on average statistics, which I think in like the United States alone is like 45K. It was like a full time. I can't remember what the average is, but what they were saying is they have created 390,000 full time jobs just in the last like year or two alone. I think don't quote me exactly on that, but it's astonishing because I seen on a stat on Twitch it was like a 90,000 or something like that, based on like what you would assume like the top Twitch streamers, if they get a number. Obviously that's more rough because that's assuming that somebody that gets 100 or so viewers brings in is probably full time, right? Yep. There's no real analytical way to,
and there's nothing correct. There's nothing unless you're tracking that individual and understand. Like when I went full time earlier this month, there wasn't some survey that I filled out at Twitch to be like, hey, by the way, I am now a full time streamer. No, they're just, I think you're right. They're just assuming that if someone's doing this amount of production at this amount of output, they're a full-time content creator. Which,
because I mean, dude, I went full-time. I was averaging, I think 50 viewers when I went full-time for the first time, but that was before like the wave hit. That was before the big wave hit. So the support was like insane, like it was like averaging 50 viewers, but we had like hundreds of subscribers, and then, and throughout that next year, we did peak up to like, I think the biggest month we had was like 150 average viewers or something like that on Twitch, I think. But we were full-time long before that, and I was full-time Twitch for a full year for myself until it got too stressful. Just not I was doing the worst thing that, like, I know you've talked about it. I know, like, we all like preach it now on TikTok because there's so many people that have found success on TikTok. I did the big no with Twitch. I found a little bit of momentum and I full sent, 250 hours a month. My YouTube was just on the back burner. I didn't even post to like my largest platform, which was Twitter. Yeah. I never posted to Instagram. All I did was stream. And dude, I have no content from any of that. Nothing. Yeah. All those amazing dude, we got like crazy donations, amazing gifted subs. None of that is recorded. None of it. I never made highlights. Never did anything. I full sent because I was like, I'm doing it right. And so after that dwindled down, that's when I started like separating things and whatnot. But back to like the power of the long term. I'm gonna be honest. Like when I first started messing around with YouTube the past few months, it was more of like an anger thing at first. I really didn't switch with the confidence of thinking that I would stay on YouTube for a long time or like streaming. I don't know why in my head at the time, like I was just like, I don't know if I can rally enough people, but this is bullshit. Like finding out more information about like Twitch and just how they're really walking all over us.
Yeah.
And I was pissed. I was furious because like for years I've backed this platform. For years I've made videos that like blew up and brought people to my Twitch from YouTube. I put so much work into using all these other platforms finally to bring people over to this Twitch. And then to find out how much they're shorting me, how much control they have over me, how much like kind of like not freedom I have here. I just got pissed. I was just like, what the like I did so much for these guys. And like I was like, I'm going to just do some YouTube stuff. And like, you know, at first it really nobody switched because that's the biggest thing that Twitch has right now over anybody out there.
Correct.
And literally like if you break anything down, it's literally the biggest thing they have. They have the community. They have that community vibe.
It's as of right now, it's the big kid on the block.
Astonishing. Yeah.
It's Bobby Big Wheels.
It's Bobby Big Wheels with a more piece of shit big wheel. But like the kid's big on it. It really is because really YouTube's big wheel, like if you break it down, it's so much more efficient. It's so much better for the rider, but the kid on it is the big kid.
But that's what sells it, right? I mean,
yes.
I mean, take that for example. When you think about even the big wheel, like there really wasn't anything special about that toy outside of the elite status that it gave you when you were the kid on the block with the big wheel back in the 80s, right?
Look at these analogies coming out. I love it.
Yeah, right? So, but that's what's going on. And the big thing about it right now is when you think about streaming, like Twitch is that platform. It's where the viewers are. It's where the audience is, the community is. And until there becomes a transition or somebody who can come in and start to get people to pull over consistently, that's going to be a really, really, they're going to remain where they are without a big need for change, right?
Yes.
But like we said, so YouTube, I think, is kind of that first big platform that has the tech side figured out, at least enough to a status to be able to say, hey, we can compete here. We can play in this playground. My big question for you then was, so what was it when you went to YouTube that made you kind of say, hey, I like this more?
I was wrong about everything that I thought was bad about it.
What do you mean?
Literally. Everything that anybody in either one of these chats, anybody that's doubting, any excuse that anybody makes right now that's like, why not to move to YouTube? Anything that I've seen so far. There's not been a substantial... After moving there, I realized like I was excusing myself. I was bullshitting. The UI is the huge one. Biggest one. If they would change the UI, I would be so down. It's so confusing. There's no discoverability. That's all false. Dude, we broke it down on a stream. I should have done the comparison side-by-side screenshots. If you actually break down YouTube's UI, it is like a rip-off of Twitch. It really is. Like when you're subscribed to people, the people that are live, they show up on the left side, just like you Twitch does. The interesting thing about it is YouTube is not based around average viewer. I want to say it's based around watch time and the click-through rate, mainly even as the streams. Meaning, so like, let's say tomorrow YouTube popped off and thousands of people moved to YouTube. On Twitch, the left side, everybody that you follow, it goes by, the biggest dog goes towards the top. That's obviously who you see more. You got to scroll down for the more little guys, even if those are who you follow. That doesn't work on YouTube. It's completely different. You could have like a 1,000 sub channel and 100,000 sub channel, and the 1,000 sub channel could show up on top. Even in the search, even if it's like you search Call of Duty Warzone right now, it's not a guarantee that the top guy is going to show up in the top of the search result.
But discoverability is bullshit, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't belong in streaming platforms. Jackzilla did a video on this, and I think he hit it on the absolute head. I talked about this in our community night the other night. Think about the science behind any type of marketing, right? You talk about attention span, and we talk about this in YouTube videos. Yeah. You got 15 to 30 seconds to captivate your audience. And TikTok, in the day of the swipe, right, the swipe right mentality, you got about 2 seconds. That first 2 seconds of your video needs to captivate the audience to make them want to watch the next 15 to 30 seconds. With live streaming, it's too hard to capture that. That means they have to tune into your stream. If somebody's truly trying to discover new talent, They need to tune in at the exact right time, because on a 4-hour stream, there's so much dead time in what's taking place that if it's not captivating right then, boom, they're out. Right. So it really doesn't belong there. It's not the platform.
Right. The live stream discoverability.
Correct.
Yeah. And
channel discoverability is different.
Bingo. And that's where I was off about YouTube. And that's the biggest argument I get, because that's exactly how people think. They think live stream, okay, the discoverability is me being live and getting put out in front of people. Well, that's not really what the discoverability is on YouTube. And like, as you just mentioned, that's not the point. The point of the discoverability is on YouTube, I can take one little clip, just like a Twitch clip, SEO it, and I have a much higher chance of it getting discovered and building that clip up. Just like you started messing around with shorts too, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a ton of shorts.
Yeah, those are a great new example, just like a minor little example of the discoverability options, just on the discoverability side. But you're completely right.
But that's still
while you're live.
But that's still building up your. Again, that's building up the YouTube platform. I mean, the problem for me is still the aspect of I'm a content creator, right? Mm-hmm. I'm at night. I know I'm not streaming tonight. I'm editing tonight. So I just want something up in the background that as I edit, I can support some people, listen to them, have them on in the background as I'm going through. In my mind, I'm not going to YouTube. Right,
exactly.
Because that's not where the audience, and I'll even pull up people that I don't necessarily know. But Twitch is that platform for that. So until YouTube becomes a viable
Twitch has got that community pull.
Correct.
Twitch is like, there's something that feels good about being on Twitch that YouTube hasn't done. That's the big thing that's holding them back. And I think where they went really wrong, I think it's hard to switch a community. Like, you can't just like, okay, everybody go switch over there. They try to buy bigger creators. They got Valkyrie, they got Courage and stuff like that. But until like you actually have like the hardworking creators that are like in the thick of the community actually go, that's going to be like the hardest part, right? And that is the only thing out of like everything that I've dealt with on YouTube so far that it's just like I can't quite put my finger on how they can fix that. Right? Does that make sense? Like,
they need more. They need more creators. They need more creators to eventually make the change. But again, the problem is you're telling somebody to press reset. So you kind of got two groups. You got three groups of people. You got top end creators that you can pay to bring over their business. The problem is that not only have top end creators, because there's the stigma about what's going on. Not only have top end creators been at YouTube like Ninja and left to come back to Twitch, a platform that he publicly bashed.
And they bashed him. Like there's a reason why he went back.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Twitch also has, like, you think about like Tim and Nick right now, improving quality standard of content. Again, it's just their product. It has nothing to do with Twitch.
Right.
But Twitch is holding right now, arguably, in my opinion, one of the highest quality tandems out there right now when it comes to streaming. What they've been able to produce right now from a quality output perspective, whether you enjoy gaming, whether you enjoy entertainment, the teams that they put out, there's a reason why they play with each other every single day. It's because they know what they're putting out. It's better than 99.99% of stuff that's out there.
Which Devin Nash actually just put a really interesting thing out not too long ago, talking about how the future of growth is collaboration.
It is 100%, and that's exactly what I've done. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what I've done. So when I went full time, I absolutely completely shut down collabs with people I didn't quite know and started to find more consistency in the people I play with on a regular basis. So I got my people that I played with from day one, my OG members that I continue to play with every single week, because I get them. We know our play style, we can banter. That's really good quality content. But I then actually went out and did a full-on recruiting process, forming a midday crew, where I reviewed over 100, I think it was 108 total applicants of people asking to be, reviewed during this process, where I went to their streams, I checked out their vibes, and I wasn't judging them based on their creator size. I 100% was looking at what type of vibe does this content creator output that I can mesh with, that if I go live with this person 2 to 3 times a week, we're going to produce quality content that people are going to want to tune in for.
Right.
That's a business decision.
That's exactly like the vibes of like, playing with,
100%.
Big Rob and stuff like that. You know what 100%. I mean? You just got to have good vibes. You got to have good vibes. That's why I say like, that's the big thing about Twitch, is those community vibes. They have the community. They have that community presence. There's There's a reason why people know that there's bad shit going on there. Like they're doing like weird shit, but they still stay there.
Correct.
There's a reason for that. You know what I mean?
Well, so you got those top end creators that are, again, you have to buy them to get them over. Then you got mid-level creators, which are people who are partnered or all the way down to people that are on their way. I like to think of myself in that category. You're averaging somewhere 40 to top end, let's say 1,000. You know, once you cross over 1,000, I think you're in the biggest end. But 40 to 1,000 viewers per stream.
Yeah, because I think 40 is like what, top 3% or something of Twitch?
Yeah, these are people who are taking this very seriously, that are building a community, whether they've been grinding for years or they've been leveraging marketing like TikTok and more accelerated opportunities to build communities at a faster rate. And they're trying.
Those are the people who YouTube really needs.
Correct. The problem is like if YouTube tried to come after me right now, right? And we're not a huge account from the standpoint of I think we're at like 7,000 followers on Twitch, but our sub rate has been real high. We've been almost over 2,000 subs every single month. Nice. So we've been very, very active with what we've been doing. But if you came to me and said, hey, Curtis, by the way, I know you're full time now, but we would love for you to come over. Like, I'm not rolling those dice to make that move unless I have to. Right? Because that's a big change inside of my community, and that's risking a lot unless the output is there on the other side. So you got this mid-level side, this mid-size creators that are hesitant to make that move unless they absolutely have to. Which
is what Facebook has been doing right these last couple of years. While we're having these discussions right now, Facebook is investing into guys like us. Like I'm talking like $6,000 to $12,000 a month to get guys like us to go over there. Now, like
Facebook doesn't have the upside.
Right. But no, what I'm saying is like, that Facebook is smart in that aspect, right? Facebook is smart and they know who they're going after. They're paying the people that you would never think. But then on the downside, and this is what also would probably happen on YouTube. And this is like what's hard to kind of bring that community. I see a lot of creators. I know a lot of creators throughout these last few years that have taken like Facebook deals, for example, and they don't really take it serious. It's just a cash out. Like they barely have to do shit. They got to stream a minimum hours of time, and then what do they end up doing, right? After their contract's up, they come back to Twitch, right? Because that's where that community vibe is. So even if YouTube was to say like, hey, let's pay all these people, it's not even a guarantee that it would actually happen, right? You know what I mean? Because like the community is still there. It's still, as of right now, on Twitch until something, I don't even know, like bad. Well, it would have to be detrimental.
It's three outcomes, right? It's either something detrimental, outcome one, that Amazon decides to sell, everybody's sitting there looking, what the hell do we do now? Option number two is they buy a bunch of big creators so that mid-level creators and small creators say, well, this is where so-and-so went, I should check them out. This is exactly what Mixer tried to do. Right? Yeah. They tried to throw money over, which did work. I mean, they had creators say, well, if it's good enough for Ninja, it's probably good enough for me. I'm on my way.
Right.
Or number three is you invest in new creators who don't have a following, and you have to give them the tools to help them grow. Because then you got loyalty, right? And that's what Twitch has right now with a lot of people is, well, I had 0 viewers a year ago. Now I have 20 viewers today. Twitch has been my platform. I'm loyal to them. They're helping me in my business.
Which is exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Like that's why I stayed on Twitch for so long. So and that's why like this, again, why I like the live format with this is because I feel like so many people would hear this, especially if they watch videos. In those videos, just like what we explained, when you're doing TikToks and videos, you got to get to the point, get to the clicky, get people to be there and be engaged and stay watching. And it's hard to represent that. I try to say it all the time. Obviously, from the conversation that we've had so far, like I think you can tell, I don't hate Twitch. You know what I mean? I don't dislike the platform. I don't acknowledge how huge it is. I don't acknowledge how almost impossible it is going to be for just YouTube to just easily switch and pivot. And the only thing that I really like to make around my content though is the reality of the power of what YouTube actually is right now that I didn't know. And that, to answer your question, like I said, when I switched and I had the idea of like, I'm just going to test this, like I'm angry. But then what I actually started liking about it is dude, it's just got something as a creator that likes control over what I do that like Twitch hasn't had for like a long time. And like Twitch has
walk me through that though. So what control do you wish you had at Twitch, or that you feel you have at YouTube that you didn't have before?
The diversity in content to post is the big one. Which, like you said, or like what we talked about a little bit ago, that's so hard right now because Twitch, we don't know if Twitch will ever move into the video side. What do you
mean by diversity? Like walk me through this.
The shorts, the clips, the other videos and everything on one platform.
But you really want that all on one platform?
I like it more than what I thought I did.
Then why are you on Twitter?
That makes sense. What's that?
Why are you on Twitter?
Because it's just another platform to have across everything else.
So at the same time, you're saying I'm okay with multi-platforms, but that in the same breath, I want everything on one platform. Those are two different. Me personally, I want as many different diversity platforms as I can get my hands on. Right.
You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And
Bingo.
I haven't even either. Right. Like T Cattle calling the black or pot black here. I have 2 YouTube channels in and itself. Right.
You got the Mama Don't Know channel.
Yeah. Which like, that's what so many people have asked, you know, like, should I split up channels? Should I split? It's just something that I do because it's clearly evident. Like the channel me and you are talking on right now is my life experimenting,
IRL,
talking, giving information. And then I have what essentially is just like what you're kind of like the point you're bringing up. It's just my Twitch on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's all my second channel is. And
awesome.
everybody's free to do that as well. And that's why people ask all the time, should I? I don't know. I can't explain that to you. I don't feel comfortable, just like what you were saying, putting absolutely every egg in one basket.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, in the diversity of separating me creating informative videos, doing stuff like this, talking like this, and me just wanting to kick back in game, I personally like that I can put... I like that I can have my TikTok up, I can have my Instagram roll up, and it can also be a YouTube short. I like that is there. It's not necessarily saying that I choose YouTube over Twitch because I want everything to be in one place. It's just right now as a creator who is just like kind of like side streaming, it has been in these last few months of testing out YouTube, to my surprise, more beneficial on YouTube because it kind of gives me the freedom.
YouTube has a bigger audience.
Yes, to not stream as much.
It's a much bigger database as far as what you can tap into.
Which is why I always tell people too, like, even I've said multiple times, I don't know if I'll ever not come back to Twitch. That's why I'm not trying to burn every bridge with Twitch and say that it's bad and it's horrible. And I even tell people as well, YouTube could be that tool for you that at least right now it can help you develop the person that you need to be to figure out how to get Twitch to work. Even like there's so many gray areas.
Twitch is easy as hell, right? I mean, it really is. The problem is that most people don't understand how to run a business. And if you don't understand how to run a business, you're never going to grow your platform over on Twitch. To your point, right? They feel like I just got to pump in stream. And that's not where you make your money. It's on the content.
They can't tell
side.
themselves no.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
They don't pump out enough content on other platforms, right? And when they do, they don't have the self-discipline enough to step back if something's not growing at the rate it is to say, okay, why is this not working? When I went full-time at the beginning of this month, I basically sat down the same way I did business analysis before, and I mapped out 27 points of contact or 27 data points inside of my business that I'm tracking month by month here moving forward to say what's each funnel producing, right? And where is growth happening and why? What type of content am I pumping out? How often am I pumping it out? When am I submitting these things? What type of growth are we having? Where's the revenue coming from? There's certain things that we're forecasting, or I'm personally forecasting as future growth opportunities and income producing opportunities versus what is today's revenue. So these are all things that I track just the same way that any viable business would, because guess what? This is my business now.
Right.
So if you're on Twitch, you have to be marketing to bring people there. Again, that's your product. Right. So if it doesn't matter, right? You can pick anything. I don't know. This box cutter, right? I don't even know who created this box cutter. Cobalt created this product, right? If they wanted to sell this product, guess what? They got to put it through a distribution channel. They got to market to it. They got to put all this other things in to sell this. They can't just say, well, we created something. Consumers are going to come to us looking for this. No, you have to sit out there and you have to advertise what you have. And that's what all the marketing platforms provide to you. That's why I like personally, each one has its purpose in my mind. Twitch is my live stream platform. You want to catch me live? Come to Twitch. Don't come to Twitch for my VODs. It doesn't matter, right? Nobody does it. That's not what it's used for. YouTube is my VODs. It's my library. It's my house. It's also where I pump out original content. Things that are edited, a little bit more finesse, things that can stay out there, coaching, mentoring, all that good stuff. Twitter is my inner monologue thoughts. You want to hear what I'm thinking throughout the day or what's kind of going on in real time? You want real access to my workings? Twitter. Instagram is the visual element and everything that happens there. And then TikTok's the adrenaline, right? That's the fuel in the system. That
go.
Correct. To me, if TikTok didn't produce the discoverability and the output that it does from a building a community standpoint, I wouldn't be investing in it. The platform, honestly, is ridiculous to me. I get the complex of it, but
me and Rob have so many conversations about TikTok. I can't believe the stubbornness of people still. It's just so funny how I see like people that, especially streamers,
it's
like
nuts.
Like they really think TikTok is just a joke.
My favorite is people who will pop on, like, someone will post a video being like, I averaged, last month I averaged 3 viewers a stream. Now I average 17 this month. And somebody comments to be like, must be nice. I've been streaming for 4 years. And then you go to their page and they produce 0 TikToks. And it's like, well, just because you're streaming doesn't mean people are going to be coming through.
And that's the big thing since I've been experimenting with the YouTube side, and like as I've been finding more growth and success on here, one of the big things that I see is like so many people that like, oh, this is BS. This is inaccurate. Twitch is so much better. There's no growth on YouTube. I've been streaming on YouTube for 4 years. What he's saying is completely false. And I obviously in those moments you're like, dang, like, okay, well, what is wrong with it? So I go to their page and they're just doing the same exact thing that would be like what we're talking about people doing on their YouTube title is just like their name is like, I don't know, TTV streamer 69. Yeah. And it just, the title is TTV streamer 69 playing Call of Duty. Like the thumbnail is just their face. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you can't, whatever platform you are on, whatever place you choose, at the end of the day, it's not the platform's fault why you can't bring more people in. It's not the platform's fault why you can't just naturally grow. Because like, obviously, the majority of us don't just naturally grow. It's not what we're doing. It's not the conversation that me and you are having right now in our live streams. Yeah, these are probably good stats on both of our streams. We got viewers. Like, that's great. What we do when we turn off the stream is what really starts to set us apart from other creators. Right. Just like any creator out there. So it's like a lot of these people need to understand, no matter whatever platform you choose to be on, this isn't just you're not going to get ahead by sitting behind. That's just not how any of this works. Regardless if things aren't doing well for you on Twitch and you want to go to YouTube, like doing the same shit that you've been doing on Twitch for 4 years isn't going to help you out on YouTube. Just like if things aren't working for you on YouTube, just switching to Twitch streaming, not creating any YouTube content is not going to help you. A lot of my conversation, especially when I talk like YouTube versus Twitch, I even bring up so many cases like maybe you should stay on Twitch. But the thing is, you should 100% be utilizing YouTube in some form of the way. And like or TikTok. And people actually argue those things. And I'm just like, I just don't even try to like.
You can't argue it. I mean, I talked about this on Sunday's community stream, and I hold by it. If you simplify it down, there's 3 levers that completely navigate your entire business flow. And if you ever want to grow, you have to pay attention to these 3 levers and these 3 levers alone. Level number 1 is how many new consumers am I bringing in every single month? Or how many new people are discovering me? This has to do with your output, right? This has to do with your marketing, with your strategies, cross-platform, all that good stuff to have discoverability, right? Get people to say, hey, I found you. I'm going to tune into you. Lever number 2 is your current people. How do you retain them? right? How do I get somebody who now has discovered me to want to keep coming back? So this has to do with your ability to leverage things like your Discord to make your community worthwhile, making your streams entertaining, make sure that the quality is relatively always there, making people feel welcome. Whatever that niche is that you feel you bring, exploit that out so that people want to keep coming back and want to keep saying, hey, I'm a part of this community. The third thing then is next opportunity, which is now that I got this person in my live stream, how do I get them to start branching out and following me on all the various platforms so that I can continue to build those? How do I create,
or even on your videos?
Yeah. How do I get them more engaged, not just in the community, but in my other revenue producing outputs? Things like, wanting to buy merch to rep the brand, wanting to subscribe over to YouTube and pay attention to those videos, or come over and follow me on Instagram or whatever it is, right? Other places that I have an opportunity to make revenue. How do I continue to build that? Those three levers control everything, absolutely everything. And the crazy thing about it is, if you really pay attention to, like, when we're talking about just the streaming element, it kind of doesn't fit into any of those, right? Because it's not the discoverability. It is a little bit from a retention standpoint, but more of that happens, to your point, off camera. It's if somebody's in my community and they're interacting with me, how do I bring the value that makes them say, I made a YouTube video about this. I think I was talking with John C. Stout about, are you providing, in Twitch's case, $4.99 worth of value?
Right.
Is it worth somebody paying $5 a month to want to support what I'm bringing to the table? The answer is no, they're not going to do it. The answer is yes, they will. That's it. Simplify your business down to those three levers and pay attention to how you're leveraging them. And a lot of failing businesses don't know what they're doing because they're not moving any of them. They're just kind of spinning around on a hamster wheel.
Which has been such an interesting thing since I've been experimenting on YouTube, because of it's astonishing the amount of people who factor in gifting into the equation. And I know it is a cool feature, and it's one of the many features that makes Twitch unique to the community vibe. It is. But like, talking business, as you're well aware, like, Amazon doesn't do Amazon on the hopes of getting donations in 2021, and that's how they do their business. Just like any creator shouldn't be making the decision on, well, I have a higher chance of getting gifted subs. That's not that's not data that you can preset. Like, oh, I'm good. Hey, you know what? Bad Bear, I think this month's going to be a good month. I'm foreseeing 500 extra gifted subs for you this month based on your analytics. You can't do that. You cannot do that. So like, making a decision based on those on things like that is just like another one of like the little things that like over these last few months I've had to like learn as a creator. Like, we would get a lot of gifted subs, but it's just something that you got to take with a kind of like a respectful like appreciation. But when you're growing a business, you can't make decisions around that, right?
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you were mentioning it, and it was just something I found interesting in this like whole, like me, testing out YouTube, is how many people really rely on gifted subs. That's scary. Like, and so anybody that's listening to whatever you're here listening for, don't make your decisions on what you do in your future based on gifted subs. That's all I just wanted to bring that up.
I'll challenge that though. You have to approach it from the right mindset, right? Again, because it's, for me, I think gifted subs are something, I was talking to Sweet Tails about this, where gifted subs are something that, to your point, you can't rely on because it's going to fluctuate. But at the same time, you can rely on them because they're going to be there. There's going to be some level of them coming in. So the way that I view it is, it's not salary, it's commission. Mm-hmm. It's 100% a commission-based thing of hype and energy and all those things that you should be outputting and giving out. If people find value in what you're doing, they're going to, they naturally want to give back. They want to give subs. They want to do these types of things because they want to help support you. They want to help you on your journey. What level that's going to be is going to fluctuate. It's going to fluctuate dramatically. I think last month, I think we were close to 2,000 subs. I think right now we're freaking sitting at like 1,500. Right. Mm-hmm. But I had a lot of people that when I announced my full time just gave straight donos, which is more profitable than a gifted sub anyways. So I have to take that into the equation when I think about, overall revenue for the month. But just on a gifted sub on a platform per platform basis, like if you just looked at the base numbers, since going full time, this is probably my lowest output month. My average viewership is higher, but my average my subs or gifted subs throughout the community are actually lower. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, you also then got to sit back and say, okay, what can I be doing to fluctuate this, right? How can I get the focus back on that? So internally,
what can you do as a creator?
Bingo. So what I'm doing,
more entertaining.
Already mapping out. Well, not even that. inside of my communities, we talk about retention because that's where the gifted subs are going to come from, right? It's from the community saying, hey, we want to help support you. Next month in March, we're going to be releasing a list of kind of tiers and kind of goal points that if we hit, certain things are going to happen, whether it's a giveaway, whether it's a special stream. My community has been asking for like a cooking stream again to get like bring the computer up to the kitchen and be cooking and drinking the whole time. We did one.
Those are fun.
Yeah, it was a huge hit, right? And people really liked it. And they've been asking for it again. So you set these tiers and things that they know and they can see and say, okay, obviously this is what Curtis is thinking about from an outpoint standpoint. This is what he's focused on with his goals. How can we help him? Certain people financially might not be able to, right? And that's fine. They're helping by just showing up in chat, hanging out for 10 to 15 minutes, which is more than I could ever ask.
Right.
100%.
As streamers, side note, just for, again, anybody watching, you always have to remind people that. Like, again, very appreciative whenever we'd have those streams where we'd get so many like gifted subs. But like, I would feel so horrible when somebody's just like, I can't afford to give you money this month. I'm just like, whoa, that's not why we do it, man. That's not why we do it. 100%. So, I just always like to remind everybody like, hey, remember, like, we are trying to grow brands and businesses, but just if you can't support either one of us financially, it's okay.
No,
it's all right.
I made a TikTok about this, about the 3 things you can do to help support your content creator if you don't have money that costs absolutely no money. Is number 1, follow them on all of their platforms. You know what I mean? It's make sure that you're following them. It's completely free to do. You don't have to subscribe to money, but it does help with our viewers just to add one more. And then number 2 is interact on those platforms, right? When we post content, understand that we as content creators are monitoring that stuff specifically. And especially on something like YouTube, YouTube's take a ton of time to edit. They are behemoths compared to the other platforms. So when something comes out, to have people not only interacting and following us there, but then also posting comments or taking the time to watch the video, again, that's free, but it means so freaking much to our metrics. And then the third thing is when we do go live is to interact, whether you're there for 5 minutes, 30 seconds, but stop in, say hi, right? I make a point of this, that when I pop into people's streams, unless I'm doing what I mentioned earlier, where I'm just lurking in the background and I'm editing, if I'm actually viewing people, I'll come in and I'm kind of short and robust. Like I'll come in and I'll blow up your chat for, 5 minutes that I'm there.
Exactly how I used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll banter with you. I'll make, say hi to people in your chat and make a couple of jokes. This isn't this. And then boom, I'm on to the next person. But that right there can spur up. And I've had a lot of smaller creators be like, yo, like even after you left, then people, it was pretty quiet before you came in. You came in like a freaking, bull in a china shop, just like making jokes and laughing about things. You get to create.
But you got chat going.
Yeah. And I got the creator more energized because they were feeling a little low because the vibe was a little slow because nobody was really posting. So those are all things that you can do for completely free to help your favorite creators. What have you seen from the support side at Twitch or at YouTube that you've really liked? I know you had the opportunity to sit down and talk to, their full-on gaming team. What are some of your biggest takeaways about as far as things that you really like that are coming from them?
Well, I think the conversation in itself was really promising. Like the fact that I'm not big or anybody special, but the fact that like they took the time out of their day to even have that conversation. Look, grain of salt. Like you can't expect platforms to just talk to you because you stream on them and stuff like that. But I've never even like remotely had a situation like that for years at Twitch. But that again, that's not me saying like, oh, Twitch is a big bad bear that isn't being nice to their people. Like they do great things for the community, example TwitchCon and many other things. But it was just like that, like them going out of their way to do that. And I know that doesn't help other people because they're not having a conversation with you or people in chat. But just that little bit right there was just a lot to start off with. Like, wow, you have so many other things to be worrying about with your day. The fact that you guys were talking to me is astonishing. But the other side is, like I mentioned, I guess even though we just talk about these things and we say, like, there's no way YouTube can't be thinking of what they need to do, right? Knowing now, when they physically put into conversation, we know Twitch is killing it at this. We know we know we need this. We know we need this here. We know we need to do this. And I gotta watch what I say, because like some of the things I can't talk about.
They're
like,
super secret. Let's get
yeah,
the
not
deets.
super secret stuff. Well, there is things coming to YouTube that, you know what I mean, I can't talk about till it's out. They did, but clips are 100% confirmed. Rewards are 100%. Those have obviously wrapped out with the new Call of Duty League. That was by the way a big one I did not expect. Is Call of Duty League going to YouTube? How much I will actually play a factor, I don't know. But that's actually another idea that we kind of missed out on earlier. You know, side topic, how you can bring a community over is Twitch's big thing with communities for years has always been like the reward system and like competitive as well. Like, I mean, a lot of the major events that I would watch, they would always be on Twitch. And then like any Apex has an event, you can get stuff, or a big one, Escape from Tarkov. That's huge. Like that, I'm binge watching Twitch when Escape from Tarkov has drops on Twitch, and YouTube just doesn't publicly have that. And you know, I guess that could be another little thing that maybe they can invest into. But I don't know, man.
But what are the pros? You just listed a bunch of things that are like what is so it not anti Twitch. What is pro YouTube?
I don't want to make it all about the money, but I've enjoyed getting more revenue for my work.
Yep.
I've enjoyed the new conversation. I don't know, and maybe that's on me, and that's why I try to say in videos too. Maybe it's the spark of interest that is helping with the YouTube. And that could be. Maybe it's me testing the waters. That's bringing it. I had viewers of mine that have been supporters, like tier 3 subs for like 40 months. And I had mentioned in one of the streams when we were having these conversations, like, I'm not set on sticking with YouTube. And a couple of them like reached out to me and was like, please stay on YouTube. We haven't seen you be a streamer like this in such a long time. And that's not necessarily the platform's fault. And I'm still trying to put my finger on it.
But if you're saying your product is higher quality. Right. I mean, I tweeted about this the other day that I feel like since going full time, my output of quality has dramatically increased. And we talked about this again last Sunday. I think the number one reason that is I'm actually getting sleep. Right. Yeah. So sometimes
it's a huge part of your health. Dude.
Oh, gigantic. Well, and especially when I was working, right. I got a family, I got a daughter. So I literally was going to work, coming home, doing family time, putting her to bed, streaming.
You have a daughter?
Oh yeah. I got a 3-year-old. But you're putting all these pieces together while still grinding and pumping out content on all these various platforms. I was staying up till 3 a.m. almost every single night, 6 days a week, until literally I had to crash. Now I can actually create a sleep schedule where I get my shit done during the day, and I can actually get to bed and recharge, pending I don't, go down my own rabbit holes at night, which happens from time to time. But it more so than anything else, just that little output created much higher quality, because now when I stream, I'm sharp. I game better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Because I went from, we do a lot of Warzone, obviously. I went from 3-4 kills a game to I'm pumping out 7-8 pretty consistently most games these days, unless we die in the first 30 seconds.
And I will say that's like a little, and again, this is what's tough about me, because I'm the experimenter. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things could be different, but it's been a much new consistent viewer base. The amount of people that are finding me while I'm live, that are finding me, hey, watch your, which I mean, people obviously did this on Twitch, but like for the viewership that I was first getting on YouTube when I first started moving, now it's surpassed Twitch. But at first it was like, I can't believe how many people are actually seriously stopping by, like, hey, you're showing up on this. Figured I'd check you out. I haven't had that in a while on Twitch. Again, grain of salt, because Twitch is in this big, so many people are flooding it. There's a lot of streamers right now. There's a lot of games are kind of in stale states, but there are new games. Like, there's a lot to play in the factor of things. Obviously, all I can explain is like my experience. And, my experience has been well based on, I don't know, just the overall enjoyment of this like new community that I didn't know was possible. And I when I was on Twitch so much, I kind of thought YouTube was a joke, to be honest. Like, I was just like, come on, YouTube streaming, really? And I was confused about it. But once I've dove into it so far, it's just like the UI it's fun. I feel like I have the analytics and the tools that I was just talking about to just consistently on a second channel I know that's kind of hypocritical to say put all eggs on one, but I don't even trust it. So I put it on a second channel. But again, I like the fact that I can have every form of social on the place where I stream too. It's just like, it's intriguing to me. It's a tool that I'm like, well, this is interesting to use right now. And that's a big thing with the videos that, again, like people skip out on. I don't say to just like, I want people to analyze that these are options, that this is tool sets here. And where, like what we've been talking about today with building your brand and stuff, for a lot of new people starting off, it's not even necessarily like, if you stream and take YouTube serious, it's going to be the best. It's more of a conversation of like, hey, this is an option. I've been messing with it. It's been nice. And I didn't expect that. And I actually am kind of shocked as how well I grow while I'm live. Mm-hmm. That is, I don't know where that is coming from. I don't know, like specifically, maybe I should ask more, the search or like the banner, like where it is coming from. But like every time I'm live, since I've been live, it's like 20 to 30 to 40 new subscribers, just naturally finding me. And I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if that is a metric based on maybe I'm getting subscribers from videos while I'm live, but while I'm not live, I'm not getting that many subscribers. So it's like, I don't know. It's that part is exciting for me because how long have you been streaming? How long have you been on Twitch?
Coming up in my first year. My first stream was March 8th, 2020.
Congratulations. So there was a point on Twitch, and I'm really curious if this isn't going to be something YouTube does to kind of help spark something. But again, they have to bring the eyes over first. But there was a point, believe it or not. So what's interesting about all this and why I take a lot of it of experimenting into consideration is like my old ass has been around long enough to remember the time when everybody laughed at the idea of streaming. Everybody was all about being a YouTuber. Everybody wanted to be. In 2015, 2014, I started my business and was able to go full time with graphic design because of Twitch alone, because of how big the platform was becoming. And then I was side streaming. So I was doing my designs live, making income off the income that I was making. So for the first like 3 years, Twitch was this. Twitch was a 100% investment into this. I didn't rely on Twitch to be my income. It was, hey, whatever support you guys are giving, this is ridiculous, but I'm just putting it to make this more enjoyable for you. That's all it was for me at first. And I remember the time when people were like, when I was like, dude, streaming is going to be the next big, come on, shut up. And then sure as shit, Twitch came out with this, when they went mobile, that's what it was. They went mobile. My buddy Daz, for example, he was a Battlefield streamer, gained like 20,000 new followers in a couple of days because they went mobile with everything. They did this new, I can't remember exactly how it broke down. Like, wow. But something made it to where it enticed new people to sign up for Twitch. Maybe it was the Prime at the time. I don't know. Somebody in one of my chats, if you guys have been around long enough to remember this. But anyways, the point was Twitch flooded this new discoverability and brought a whole bunch of people to the platform through game suggestion. And like it automatically followed a whole bunch of streamers like in this weird period to kind of like introduce all these new streamers to people, kind of connect the dots of like, hey, this is Twitch. Oh, that's right. If you would sign up for Twitch via mobile, you could sign up. I think it was the integration of Amazon Prime into Twitch, and you could sign up and whatever games you suggested. So, hey, I'm a new viewer. I'm very interested in.
I play these 3 games. Yeah.
I play these 3 games. It would like follow you to streamers doing well in that and being up to date with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I'm curious as to where I'm like, when I go live on YouTube, I'm curious as to where these subscribers, is YouTube like kind of like, hey, you know what? You've been playing this game a lot. You've been watching this game. Like, here, check out this guy. Because that would be interesting if they're doing that more.
Yeah, I have no idea. Twitch does a little bit of that with recommended channel, but again, the discoverability is not what I go to Twitch for. I mean, I don't rely, in my mind, my business platform, I don't rely on Twitch for discoverability. I don't think it's going to provide it. I don't expect it from it. It's doing what it's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. It's there. It's my distribution. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I view this.
Yeah, and I guess like to answer one of your questions earlier, because I've always been the guy to like say don't put all your eggs in one basket. I guess just right now in the state of YouTube and my like unweariness with Twitch, it's interesting to me of how much I can do on one platform. Mm-hmm. It just intrigues me. Like it's crazy that YouTube is making your pay. Essentially, you have tweets now in your community tab, mm-hmm. which that's another thing that they're rolling out to put out there. To like, you can actually gain subscribers now from your community posts. They will push stuff if it's like engaging content. They will actually push those posts. Then you have YouTube Shorts, which I really suspect Twitch is going to do something with like a short feature, vertical form, TikTok style. I don't know. I just got a gut feeling like they got to know that's.
Here's how I view all of this. I view all of this as YouTube has a good chance because of its giant community base it's tapping into with YouTube Shorts to compete. But in my mind, it's like, I would rather go to a platform that has specifically designed this for this purpose than to have one platform try to be a jack of all trades, a master of none. Right. I want to go to Twitter because of what Twitter is. I want to go to TikTok because of what TikTok is. I want to leverage these other platforms to reach new audiences and bring them into YouTube or tap into their YouTube. I can't tell you how many people I've had say, hey, I created a Twitch account to come subscribe to you or watch you or follow you because of how hilarious your TikToks are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And so when that happens, it's like, yo, this was somebody who, if I was just on my distribution channel, and even if that distribution channel had outreach programs, if they're not on that platform, if they're not on that outreach program, they're never going to be discovered anyways. I had to discover them through another mean. I just had the very first one the other day. This blew my mind because 98% of my people have discovered me through TikTok. Right. That's where they found me, was TikTok. But I had the first one ever say that they found me through Twitter, which blew my mind. That was so cool to me.
You know, and that's wild to me is like, I actually, dude, I rarely could ever pull people from Twitter. And like, I don't know if you know, I had like a couple viral videos on Twitter last year. And like, dude, it was tough to like even pull those. Twitter's a weird beast. Twitter is a weird beast itself. And people, dude, like so many TikTokers have come over, like follow me on Twitter because of my skits and stuff, and they're like, "Dude, how do you grow on Twitter?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea.
Dude,
I just post shit. I just post shit and people follow. I don't know.
Twitter's my fastest growing platform right now, hands down.
By the way, we did get a confirmation in chat by Sam Woodhall that Twitch devs have confirmed that no vertical content is coming. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not what they know what they are. Right? And why, unless you're going to outreach and build out platforms specifically for that, the risk of building something and not being the best, you have to be the best at it. If you're not the best, people are going to go to the best. Mm-hmm. And this is what Reels just ran into, right? Where they completely botched their rollout of Reels. They fucked this thing up way more than they should have. And the problem is they spent a whole bunch of time, energy, manpower on building this thing up that's just never going to be viable unless they completely overhaul it, which is going to basically say, let's build it from scratch again. Now, YouTube Shorts, it's a very small distribution channel, but the comparison to that, then the question to that still has yet to be discovered is short form content going to bring me long form content viewers? Because long form content's where I make my money on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So like I've grown, I don't know, maybe 1,500 to 2,000 viewers over the last 45 days on YouTube, mostly from YouTube Shorts, just taking the same short-term content and putting it out over there as well as a different distribution audience. But I haven't seen the videos, the views of my videos go up at all. And then there's people like Benjamins who, basically that's all he's doing. And he's got 42,000 subscribers. I've
been connecting with him a lot. And there's another guy that we have at G Fuel. He gained 200,000 subscribers in a month from Shorts. But again, like it's all experimental right now. Cause I got a buddy too.
We're shooting at the dark.
He's got a system. Shout out. Oh my God, why am I having a blank? Expel. Holy shit, I had like a weird brain fart there. So Expel, he'll throw in one like quality short a month, and it like get like 1 million views, and it just like teeter totters his shit that much more, slingshots it almost a little bit, as to where like the guy with G Fuel, he is like shorts, long form content. Shorts. You know what I mean? So he's just throwing, and it works for him.
Well, that's what I'm doing. So right now my goal is long form content twice a week, shorts every single day. Mm-hmm. That's my goal.
Maybe that's like an interesting thing, too, with my vibes, I guess, on YouTube being so it's so experimental, since it is a second channel, since it is a gaming channel, since it's my Twitch on YouTube, my streaming channel. You know what I mean? I get I guess maybe that's another reason why it is more fun to me. It's just like, let's just see what happens, dude. But again, also, I hate to make things about the money. It was astonishingly surprising how shorted I was getting on Twitch in comparison to what I could get on YouTube, because I always kind of thought that streaming on YouTube, there was no real revenue. And like, I thought it would
bigger profit margins for sure, but it's because of the distribution channel,
yes.
Right? Twitch again isn't profitable even with the margins that it's taking from you, but it's because its audience is purely gaming. YouTube's audience is every person in the world. Literally every country has YouTube access and can see it, and so ads on every single video earning money every single time. That's way more revenue that they can pay out to their gamers,
right?
Because that's a tiny fraction, and they're like, yo, yeah, okay, you want 70%, whatever, sure, here. You know what I mean? The margins are just going to be different because it has more revenue coming in that Twitch, without building out a secondary market or something that's non-gaming related, will just never have, right? But I mean, it is what it is. For me personally, again, I view it as, I find value in what YouTube is doing. I don't fault people for being there. I think that it's smart, especially if you're a YouTube video creator, like you're putting out long form content YouTube on a consistent basis, to be building your community there and live streaming. And for you specifically, you do a lot of IRL stuff in real life, that just chatting stuff, that's going to play really well on YouTube, probably more, at least in my mind, than just me doing Warzone 90% of my streams.
That's exactly how it was for me on Twitch too. Like when I was on Twitch, that's how it was. My Twitch IRL just chatting streams were like substantially higher than like me gaming. Like 100%.
Yeah, it depends for me. We've had some that have been off the chain IRL. You know what I mean? Just like, we were doing during the whole To the Moon, like the stock takeoff with GME and AMC. We were doing midday, just like stock watches, where I literally just had the stock prices up and I was drinking and just chatting about like investment strategies as somebody who's worked in the financial services world, like what's actually going on here. We had like 90 to 100 viewers every time I did that, which was at that time almost double what we were, getting in the gaming streams. But I think it really does matter in play. But for me personally, the reason why I remain on Twitch is, to me, it's, you word it as it's where the community is. To me, it's where the big boys are.
Yeah.
If you can make it on Twitch, you can make it anywhere. And when you come in saying, like, other platforms respect that. If they say, yo, this person's partnered on Twitch, that's a viable creator. You know what I mean? That's somebody who's really pumping out. Not that YouTube is also an animal that if you get partnered on YouTube, like, yes, you're also.
That's another thing. Like, I put out a video on it, but like, people need to understand the differences. Like, so many people do choose Twitch. Like, this is their words, not mine. They choose Twitch because affiliate is easier than YouTube partner, which is like, I always just kind of remind people, if you're not, the biggest thing comes down to, are you happy where you are or not? If you're happy, then why does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, if you're happy there, like, you shouldn't even be like worrying about a this versus happy. You feel like you're growing your brand, like but like, it's down to like, okay, are you on Twitch and you're not happy, but you're staying there because affiliate is harder than partner? I'm not a big believer that if it's easier, that means it's the best for you. I'm not a big believer. But I'm
a big believer that if somebody's struggling, though, it's because of other things that are going on.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people don't remember too, like, YouTube partner program is a middle ground of the Twitch affiliate and the Twitch partner. Like, once you hit YouTube partner program, there's no other way of like hitting new monetization feed. Like, not to my knowledge, at the Sam would probably know in chat. We have a legend in here right now.
I know. You mentioned him earlier.
And so
Sam, I love your videos.
He would probably know more than me. But yeah, like, I don't know. Again, it's just like I said, the big thing that stood out to me was Memesy, Sooner, a couple mods. Like when I was like, YouTube is doing good. I feel like I'm getting good. I feel like I'm ruffling some feathers. I feel like I'm like making some smaller creators understand, like, whoa, hey, let's take a step back. If you're not happy on Twitch, you don't like where things have been going, because that's the biggest thing I see from so many people. I don't like this platform. But yet here I am. Okay, well, just hold up. There is YouTube. I'm testing it out. It seems to be working. And like, I wasn't oblivious to the fact of how much I've walked away from on Twitch. So it's like some days I feel very guilty. And the big thing is I feel out of the loop from my homies. You know what I mean? Everybody's on Twitch. The community feel that we've been talking about so much. All my homies are there. So there are plenty of times where I'm like, man, I miss being with my homies. And that's the thing that they freaking have, man. They got that vibe down. But the big thing that stood out to me was just when, quite a few people were like, dude, we love you here. We've gotten the Biggie streamer that we'd love to watch. We've gotten him back. And again, like to you, that could be just the dial in of you. There could be so many factors into the mental health aspect that just makes me a better creator right now while I'm here. And maybe that doesn't come down to the platform thing. But all I try to point out is
there's options.
Yes, I'm here and I'm doing it. And it's growing and it's successful. So there is options for people. You're not confined if you don't like where you're at right now.
Bingo.
It may take more work. It may take less work. Maybe you'll pop off on short. We don't know. Nobody knows the future. Nobody knows the future. But there is options. And I think until really these platforms are really not going to grow more, take us in consideration more, until more creators like me and you have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, my whole thing with this journey isn't to hate on Twitch. My whole thing is to let's see what options are out there. And I think right now the Twitch community is so strong, people just have the mindset of like, there's no other option. And until like a lot of creators start having those conversations more and more, and then it kind of gets them thinking, okay, well, you know what? It seems like our community don't like yesterday. What's going on with the I've been out of the loop. What's the purple screen stuff that's going on with Twitch right now?
What do you mean?
I seen it all over yesterday. It's this new thing. All I know is it's something with ad blockers, and there's a purple screen that comes up with that. But I don't know if it was glitchy or something yesterday. But so many people were tweeting out about they couldn't watch streams or something like that. It's just so much like weird stuff that's been going on over there.
Yeah, I was running into different. Xbox Live was down for the majority of the day yesterday. That was my big problem.
Purple death.
That had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. My stream went off without a hitch. I didn't have anybody mentioning anything as far as issues. I mean, for me personally, I completely agree with everything that you're saying. Right? There has to be options. Monopolies are terrible in any industry. Yeah. It stunts growth, it stunts opportunities, it stunts innovation. So to have something that can be viable and two companies that can compete with each other is going to be valuable for both platforms, because they're going to continue to, again, play off of each other to create better features, and hopefully not just YouTube saying, well, Twitch is doing these things, but eventually, yeah, there's innovation coming in that both of them are forcibly having to get better at everything that they're doing. My biggest problem is, again, as a content creator with a mid-size audience, do I want to roll the dice and start creating content over on? And that's the decision that just right now, with just everything that's going on, I can't say, yes, I will. I don't know how many of my community, if I dropped everything today, went to YouTube, I don't know how many of them would come over. It'd be a fraction. I don't know what fraction that would be. But on the same output, it's like, then I'm also having to start over with all of this. That becomes incredibly difficult as well.
It's a shitty. I actually talked about this in stream recently. It's kind of a shitty side as a creator where you got to analyze these things, but it's the realistic side you got to think of. It took me a little bit longer. It's so many baby steps into really like testing YouTube, because I didn't think that hundreds of people would join the Thick Members Club on YouTube. I was just like, man, I have that power on Twitch. I can't.
What a title, by the way. I do like that. Yeah.
I'll send you when I do my merch drop. I got a Thick Hub shirt. We'll get you one of those shirts.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just grateful as a creator that obviously, you know what, I can't remember, it was a book or somebody, but it's like the way to really become successful is like, you just really have to have 1,000 loyal people. Like that's the fastest way to real success. If everybody thinks that you need to have tens of thousands of viewers and like, I'm really proud that with the transition too, I've discovered that I am like 100 to 200 loyal creator. Like I have a couple hundred loyal people, and that, it made me really, and again, that's the mental side too. But no, that's tough. And that's why I try to make people understand in the content, the switch is not easy. You're not going to just go, if you are somebody that's a 30, 40, 50 viewer Andy that's got hundreds of subscribers, you will have to take a step back. You will question if the move is worth it, because you're not going to probably make money right away. Unless you're easing it and you already hit the YouTube partner program, and so you're already set. But I wasn't. And dude, people don't, as we talked about the community stuff earlier, and that's where a lot of people also misunderstand things. Like, well, yeah, you had a following, so you switch to YouTube, and they just went. No, dude, they don't go. No, they don't. I had obviously like my loyal mods. My first week of streaming on YouTube, like I streamed on Twitch 1 week to 80 viewers, naturally, no host, just chatting, checking out some setups, went live on YouTube the next week. I had 3 viewers. 3.
Yeah. So
it's not an easy switch, but I don't know.
Part of me is thinking, so part of what I've been deliberating and thinking about is whether or not I wanted to start doing shorter term streams over on YouTube, just as further content creation from that, specifically doing my just chatting IRL stuff on YouTube and my gaming bigger form content on Twitch. But again, it all comes back to, then I have that thought process of like, well, do I really want to be investing in 2 different platforms?
Bingo. So that was the thing I believe great minds think alike. Because right now, I mean, a stream like this today, obviously on my main channel, will do so much better than on Twitch and stuff like that. And this is the content that we talk about on here. So I've even thought about that too. Like, well, what if I just do these types of streams on this, which I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing with my gaming channel. Like on my gaming channel, that's where I game. On this channel, this is where I live stream my podcast, where people can listen to these types of things. What's holding me back from just gaming on Twitch and then being here? And it's like you said,
dating 2 women.
Yeah, guilt. Like I even though they do it here, which got, shout out to all you members and stuff, like people that are members on this channel and the other. Dude, can we just give a second to at least give like all of our supporters just love? You know what I mean? Like crazy. I still have 50 subscribers on Twitch, and they're like, I'm not unsubscribing. I've been subscribed for 40 something months. I'm not, and I'm like, stop. I don't need it. But that is the one thing holding me back from utilizing both in that way, is like, I do feel guilty from doing that. Yeah, I don't know. I think
it ultimately depends. Like in my mind, what I wrapped my head around was the same reason why I'm investing. Like, again, I run my business like a business. It's my R&D phase, right? We as content creators so often don't spend money as our asset. Our biggest asset is our time. Where are we investing our time into various opportunities, right? Whether that's production of the thing that we're selling, whether that's the distribution or the marketing. For me, it would almost play more into an R&D stage where it's not necessarily replacing something else, but if I were to invest, like my day off, I have 2 days off a week where it's Saturdays and Wednesdays. Well, what if on those days I did a morning stream where it's just an hour of just chatting or talking about what's going on and just R&D. Check it out.
Dude, I forgot to even bring this up. And I need to actually make a video on this. So obviously, the big disconnect too with YouTube is I didn't realize how many YouTube streamers there. I mean, it's nowhere near Twitch, but like I didn't realize actually how many like YouTube streamers that I've never heard of that are doing great. And to my knowledge, a majority of them, either there's 2 people. Gosh darn it! I think his name's one's Thinned or something like that, or big COD guy. So he canceled his affiliate contract with Twitch. He multi-streams on everything. Mm-hmm. And now, where I don't really suggest that to a lot of people, but it's hard not to for people that are starting off. Like, hey, whatever, just throw the darts in the dark and see what lands.
Yeah, the problem is then you're not revenue. If you're done affiliate, you're not getting revenue off of Twitch.
Well, that's where the YouTube side comes in. But I mean, he gets like thousands of viewers on every platform. I never heard of that. I never knew people did that. And then on top of that too, there are actually quite a few guys who, like you just said, and there are even Twitch partners, and a lot that's a huge misunderstanding. Some Twitch contracts are 100% exclusive, meaning you cannot stream on anything. Some are not. Once you sign affiliate, you cannot multi-stream.
Correct.
But some people think once you sign partner, then you can't multi-stream. That is not correct. So there are some people that stream in the morning to like a couple thousand people because they put out the YouTube content.
Yeah.
So 2 days a week they stream in the morning, and every evening they stream on Twitch, and they're killing it.
Yeah, it's not you're exclusive to them. It's that they have exclusive rights to that stream. So if you're on Twitch and you're streaming, Twitch as an affiliate or partner has exclusive rights to that for a 24-hour period, meaning you can't multi-stream it somewhere else.
Right.
But
it's like how many people, I don't even think can you distribute the content to YouTube?
You're not supposed to be. No.
Yeah. Look how many people
they're supposed to. Yeah, correct. There's a lot of that. And this is what a lot of people ran into issues with like TikTok Live. Was you go on TikTok Live to show that you're live, you can't technically show the game that you're playing. You can show you.
I just got banned for that for a week.
Yeah, you can show you.
Shout out TikTok. I'm actually live right now.
Hey.
Right. Because I wanted them to, but I'm not on a game, so I figured like this shouldn't be. Yeah, they're really getting down with their terms.
But that's why, like when I do it now I have a new. I just redid my whole setup earlier this month. I'm still working on it. You can see like I put those up on Wednesday. Yo, I'm such a manly man. I put up shelves.
I know a thing or two about setups.
But I put my camera now. It's just like right here, like it'd be off stream, but it's literally focused on me. You couldn't see any of the monitors of gameplay because of that same issue. But what we were kind of getting on was that you can stream to other platforms. You're free to stream to other platforms. It's just if you're streaming to Twitch, they have the rights. So to do a separate stream, again, just under the concept of R&D for me, just to say, hey, if I try this for 60 days and I commit to it to say, hey, I'm every Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'm going to go 11 to 12:30, a 90-minute stream out on YouTube. Do I go from 2 viewers to 20 viewers in the next 60 or whatever, right? Leveraging my community, still advertising the same way I normally would, but does that happen? I don't know, right? But it's worth the R&D to find out. The same reason I'm investing all this time and energy into shorts. There's been so many days, because I tend to upload my shorts late at night so that my subscribers out on YouTube don't get annoyed. Like it's not a midday notification. I upload it to like at 2 a.m. when most people are probably sleeping. So there's been so many days that like I'm shutting down, my eyes are shutting, it's 11 p.m. and I'm like, yo, I haven't uploaded it and set the timer yet. And I'll get out of bed, come all the way ass down here to, find the YouTube, upload it, type in the words, yada, 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 add the tags, and then go back up because that's just the R&D and the time commitment that I'm willing to make on the platform to see, hey, is shorts going to be viable? Is this going to help my business in the long run? I don't know. So far, I'm pleased with what it is. I'm not ecstatic the way that like TikTok was, but it's worth me playing into.
Right. Which is, it's you as a creator, you're taking the time to figure out these new things, these tools, you're seeing what works for you, how you can utilize them.
Yeah, correct.
Right. Which is, that's like, I think that's just the biggest thing I really want to push people this year is just like, there's no real right or wrong. Like there obviously is in some situations, like obviously you don't say like derogatory shit while you're live. Like that's a pretty clear right or wrong, but it's like neither one of us right here can tell anybody, hey, do this by the book. And you 100% without a shadow of a doubt will get X amount of return. It's all a gamble. Some get more, some get less, some take, like you mentioned earlier, what you did in a year, some people are pissed because it took them 4, but like
or more like what pre TikTok for somebody to go from 0 viewers to, I think we're at, last I checked on the month, like 666 average viewers per stream, right? We've been over 2,000 subs per month for the last 5 months. Like in less than a year. No, that doesn't have, like that's 100% because of TikTok. And you're right. It's playing into it. the number one thing that people just need to do is they need to treat what they're doing. If you wanted to, if you're streaming just to have fun, that's awesome. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're truly trying to grow here, you got to treat it like a business. You have to be monitoring absolutely everything, not afraid to try different things, walk away, cut ties, and roll the dice on some things. Because the reality is there's not one size fit all. One of my early mentors when I was getting started was Crusader, right? Who spent a lot of time with me helping develop, talking about what she was doing, how she was leveraging TikTok, how she built her brand, all of those types of things. Maddie's been an unbelievable resource for me, especially in the early stages. But she worded it as, so many people look at this like, well, if I just go through the motions, I'm going to be successful. She goes, think about it like any professional sport, right? Each level or tier or kind of like roadblock that you think about inside of your business is like, let's talk about the NBA, like going from high school to college to the pros. So few people make it to a professional level where they can truly make this a viable income source for them full time. But just like in the NBA, there's not a one size fit all body type.
Bingo. Yeah.
You could be a 5'8" Muggsy Bogues and be just as effective or valuable on the team that you play on as 7'2" Shaq. Like it's two different comparisons and body types, and the same is true. There's different personalities, there's different vibes, there's different energies, and you're going to attract the type of people that you output. So just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you can't be wildly successful. You just have to play into your strengths and build your community around what those strengths are, and not play into who you think people want you to be.
Right.
That's what's big.
Yeah, and that's like, to the talking earlier, and a lot of what I say is like, no platform is going to change if you're like, the sad side is like some people are just boring people. Like it's some people are just not meant to be streamers.
Correct.
That's something like people can't hear. And like I try to say that in videos, like whatever experiment I'm trying and things are working for me, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you, because maybe you're just not a good streamer. But like, I always encourage people to try things. Like if you want to try, because maybe like the experience of going through a live stream will make you realize like, is where I was kind of boring on the public side. What I really enjoyed was learning all the tech, learning all the settings, like setting everything up. Dude, there's value in that. Like you can help so many people out there by learning those things. You don't need to be a streamer. You don't, dude. I mean, you take the last few months. I put out so much content on this channel that's done very well around the concept of streaming, and I literally have like cut my stream hour. I'm not nowhere near a full-time streamer anymore. Like it's one of the least things that I really actually focus on anymore. It's just something I do for whenever I get time as a little like side gig, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just there's so much with a grain of salt, and so much that like people can learn by
There's so
trying
many ways
things.
you can be successful.
Yes.
There's not a one-size track that says, hey, you have to do it this way. You have to play this game. You have to be this personality.
Bingo.
99 people out of 100 aren't going to make it. You got to work at it, right? I made a TikTok the other day about, basically saying, I think I used the numbers 98 and 2. Like 98% of people that are all jumping into this aren't going to be doing this 3 years from now. So if you want to be doing it, what are you doing to put you in the 2% that 98 other people aren't?
Right.
Not you're all doing the same thing. No, because you're going to fall into the masses. What are you doing that is separating you and your business from everybody else that's doing it? And if you can't answer that, go back to the drawing board and figure it out.
Right. Which is that's in itself is even an interesting thing that like Rob brought, because I have conversations with Big Rob. For those that are listening, by the way, Big Rob is a mutual friend.
Little Robert. God, what a short shit. What's so interesting, like he said, is just like, dude, even me other creators, it doesn't need to just be me. I'm not some special unicorn or anything. And I'm not like, I don't have that much success. I'm just like, I'm going with the flow, and like YouTube is doing good. Like, right. It's just doing good, for streaming. And, that alone, just the experimenting of trying could set off my Twitch in a year. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand how I even like cockingly was talking to chat the other day of it's crazy, even though how well YouTube's doing. And this is, again, the community feel, how many of those people are still going to my Twitch when it's not linked in anything and are following my Twitch as well. Just waiting in case
I want to stream on Twitch.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy. So like, I just always invite, like you said, to try things. It doesn't, no harm come. If nothing's working for you right now, all you can do is all you can do. Like, that's literally all. If shit's not working, just try something. Like, just take a stab at it. See if oh shit, wait, you know what? It was like better vibes over here today. That's, I do a really bad job at leaving Facebook out of the conversation, but like Facebook is a good example. Like, I know. I seen that smirk when I said the name. It's weird, but like,
Facebook's
it's
fine.
still there.
It is. It's the little brother in the room.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's
the little
a
brother
viable,
that,
it's an option. You can play with it. It's really easy to get started. It's really easy to start building a community, to get the understanding. You tap into
mom and dad kind of cater to it a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's not in the same realm. It's not playing the same game. It doesn't have the same upside, and that's why, I mean, I've never since doing this heard anybody say I'm leaving Twitch for Facebook. But I've heard a lot of people say I'm leaving Facebook for Twitch or YouTube.
That's actually funny because I have a lot of people. I know a lot of people that left Twitch for Facebook.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I know a lot, quite a few. I mean, they were big Twitch streamers. But like, this also comes down to like, dude. I mean, this was years ago too. Like, I've been around for a long time. I've been in this community for 11 years now. So that's just conversations over time having and stuff like that. I mean, yeah. And over this last year, I've actually experienced like some homies and some friends that are big Twitch streamers, that are big Facebook streamers, like trying other sites themselves and seeing the growth. Or a great example is my friend Savage. He started off on YouTube, was a big YouTube streamer when I was a bigger Twitch streamer. He moved to Twitch because at the time he's seen how much I was gaining. Grew a Twitch stream while still doing YouTube, then moved to Facebook these last few years.
He's everywhere.
With the growth of his YouTube at the start, that helped funnel his Twitch. And then later on, this new venture of Facebook, it has, like, he is killing. It doesn't matter what he goes live on. If he wants to stream on Twitch tonight, if he wants to stream it, hundreds of people are tuning in because it's the overall spread that he got. I got another buddy too that he took a Facebook deal a while ago. He had got a lot of growth on it, so he stayed on there. And then lately, he hasn't been Facebook changed something with the algorithm, discoverability, or viewer attention, or something's gone down, and they're mad about it over. I don't really know too much about it, so don't quote me on everything. But he started testing out YouTube, and again, the thing. If he would have years ago just kept streaming to his 100 to 200 viewers on Twitch, and that's all he was doing, he would not be able to have 300 like loyal people to follow him around wherever he goes if he hadn't tested waters on something, right? So it's like, that's all I really like. I just encourage, I think that's the big thing that we agree on. We encourage anybody to do is like, you never know where growth can go. Like, you just don't.
Let me ask you this, because this is one thing that I've noticed. So since exploring into YouTube, and this is something I've never heard anybody talk about, but I'm very curious on your standpoint as a YouTube streamer. Let's talk about toxicity, because YouTube for me has dramatically more toxicity than Twitch.
Really?
Way more.
Wow. I don't have it.
Oh, I get a shit ton. I get way more, and I get it more on there than TikTok even. Like, people don't say shit on TikTok to me.
I just had way more Twitch toxicity.
I have none.
See, that I think that's what it stems to. Like, here's it. This was actually like, I actually almost got emotional when we talked about this. Like 2 weeks into me testing YouTube, I went live on Twitch, and I was just kind of like, I want to let more people know, because like a lot of people were not aware at the time. I still had hundreds of subscribers. I was like, I guys, like, if you want to cancel your memberships, even if you don't want to move to YouTube, I'm just trying to make you guys aware. I was kind of shocked at how many assholes I had just treating me like shit that used to be like old viewers, because like I've turned my back on Twitch. Like I was like, wow, dude, like I thought
brand loyal. Yeah.
I was like, I thought you were here to watch me, not because I'm live on purple badge instead of red badge. And like, it really like, I don't know. It correlated. It gave, and I told chat too, I told people when I talk about this, like, I know that's not the Twitch community as in entirety, But like you know, you just said that you've had toxic experience on YouTube, where like those last streams, and then even while I was live so much in those last few years, like I've had more of the toxic side on Twitch, which is that could be
because you switched. Yeah, I don't know. But for me, it's because again, don't forget, I'm not live streaming. People don't tend to be toxic when they live. If they get toxic in my live streams, we got ways of handling that. It's a more like the content. So the same content that I'm producing on TikTok, the short form content that I'm translating over to YouTube Shorts, I get way more negative and toxic comments on YouTube Shorts than I ever do on TikTok or even streaming over to Twitch. Way more, dramatically, exponential.
I haven't experienced it, but
even since being on here, I've gotten 3 comments on the most recent YouTube short, all 3 of which are
negative.
Yeah, not negative. Like the most recent one was, why is Ted Cruz playing COD? Like, you know, like, but it's not the same as like when I upload to TikTok, you know, it's something way different. Like, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I got thick skin, but at the same time, it's like YouTube's a beast. You got to be ready for it,
dude. Comment section of big videos is just I just made a TikTok about that recently, about like I YouTube, this YouTube channel, it's not even huge. I have to ignore comments. It's horrible. It gets so bad. I try my best to like, I got a lot of feature. YouTube side does pretty good with it, like filtering.
But that's what I'm saying is I don't get that anywhere else. I'll get a little bit on. I
get it on Twitch too. I get it really bad on TikTok.
Well, I think TikTok is because you're going against the grain.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? You're swimming upstream. You're not going the same way as everybody else. You're not falling in line, which has its pros and its cons. Right. Yeah. It makes you stand out. It makes you as of right now, the person to have conversations with as far as, you know, this type of topic. But at the same time, yeah, it's counter to what all the other big accounts are talking about or sharing on TikTok. Right. So you get way more than I will on my stuff. But it's interesting to me that I'll share the same exact clip on TikTok as on YouTube, and YouTube I'll get negative or just toxic comments, and in TikTok it will be none.
Yeah, the internet in general.
It's your keyboard warriors.
Yeah, it's bad.
And maybe it's because like in the past, especially when I was getting that, when I had about 20,000 followers to about 50,000 followers, I made series of videos where I was clapping back at almost any negative comment that came in that was like super not basic. Yeah. But I was making response videos to it. So maybe that set a tone. I don't know. I stopped doing those. But anyway you look at it, it amazes me, how much more comes of that off of YouTube than any other platform.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't say that in my experience that I've had more negativity on YouTube versus the other platforms. I think for me, I think it's been pretty general. Like it's just, I don't know, negativity everywhere. Yeah, people being dicks because they're unhappy with their life and stuff.
That's the internet. To your point, this is the internet. Yeah. It's the game we play.
Yeah, and I mean, as creators, like if anybody listening, we're not talking about these things because they affect us. We're talking about them because they're the reality, and you gotta. Like, people are going to be negative no matter where you go.
Correct. Yeah, I got to think, none of this stuff is ever. I've never gotten a comment that I was like, yo, like, what? You know, like, completely knocked me off my game. You got to have thick skin if you're doing this. If you're going to be successful, there's going to be a ton of negativity, a ton of people pushing back on you. Even outside of that, like, when I went full time, try explaining to my parents who are, you know, traditional, you know, corporate level people that were very heavy on education and, you know, career driven, that, hey, by the way, I'm going to go stream on TikTok and make YouTubes and, you know, play games on Twitch. And that's going to be how I make money now. Like, it was a really odd conversation. Obviously it went over well. They're very supportive of the adventure and what we're doing, but it's a different mindset. You know what I mean? You got to have thick skin to be able to push through that and to persevere on the other side. But at the same time, if you can avoid it, all the better. Or especially if you can find people that do the opposite, right? If you can find ways to angle your business, to angle your message, to angle your niche so that you're not swimming against people, but you got more people pushing behind you, right? Propelling you forward, all the better.
Yeah. And maybe that in a sense is even what's attributed to some of my growth and support on YouTube. maybe I'm getting a group of people who's just kind of is tired of some of the stuff on Twitch, and maybe they haven't had growth and they're kind of like swimming with me now. You know what I mean? And kind of building that community. That's why it's so hard to I mean, you obviously have your analytics on sites. You obviously can see what's factoring into like peaks and valleys and growths and stuff, but it's just hard to say how everything played into a factor to get people together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's impossible to pinpoint, hey, new viewer came, unless you interviewed everybody or they specifically say, hey, I'm from TikTok, like where each viewer came from and how they discovered you. But to your point, I think that's 100% correct, right? If you're producing content that's all pro YouTube gaming, it goes against the stream on a platform like TikTok, but the people who make the transition to follow you on YouTube are probably even more loyal to that brand name than, Twitch, for instance, for me. You know what I mean? Like they're following you because you're doing something different, and they want to support that.
Correct.
So they're more for you than your average viewer who just pops in because they saw me hit a sweet snipe or a funny VOD, whatever.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I try to, again, I try to just be as much as a realistic adult about it as possible. And it pisses some people off because it's like the daydream fact. Like they'll watch like a TikTok, especially in short form, and they're like, they hear, oh, he's getting support, so this should be a little shortcut for me. And then they come to a stream, and then I tell them the reality, and they're just like, oh, you mean I gotta work?
Yeah, there's no shortcut.
It's just like, no, dude, it's not tools, and like lately I've really been trying to bring the awareness of. And I think us talking about this sheds more light on it, that at the end of the day, no matter who has the community feeling, you got to look at every platform is a business with a logo needing to make their ROI too. They got to make their money. It's the reason why Twitch is doing so much right now with the ad stuff. They have to, they are in the transition to make ads more sustainable on their platform so they can profit more, which makes sense. People can't be, YouTube did this years ago. You can't complain about that. You can maybe complain about the process of how aggressive they're being, but that's only short term, right? Until they start to get that ROI. But at the end of the day, regardless if it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all have to make money. These are all brands designing sites to make you have a sense of feeling to want to be there.
It's a service.
Very smart people working behind these. So especially lately, I invite everybody to do what they enjoy, to test the waters on things. It may not work out for everybody, but you just also got to be realistic that some of these sites, even YouTube, might not have the best your interest in hand in all situations. You got to be an adult and realize that to help grow your brand and to make decisions.
They're tools. Everything has pros and cons to it. We are running our own businesses as much as they are, and we need to evaluate which tools are we going to leverage and use. Where do we find success? Where are we going to be investing our asset, aka our time, to build? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And there are certain things that I feel that most content creators and streamers don't do enough of or don't invest enough time in. One of them, to your point, is R&D, right? What we were talking about earlier. It's having the open mind to explore what else could be an opportunity. What else should I be playing with, looking at, reading into? Or, again, even like a very low utilized thing amongst smaller streamers is Discord. A lot of people might not understand it, so they don't figure out what role could this play. That's your home base. That's your community. Like, that's got to be one of your top priorities for growing. So it is about just really kind of spending time. I use the word content consumption a ton in a lot of my videos, which is spending time studying what other people are doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it. What do I like versus what don't I like? I might see a streamer do something that's wildly successful for them, but I hate it. Yeah. And I just decide, I make the decision, I don't like that. I'm not doing it. But I might see something that I think is really creative. I'm not going to rip it off verbatim, but how can I tweak this to make this fit into my portfolio or what we're offering to our community? Let me change subjects real quick. I don't know how much time I don't know what time you wanted to go here.
All to you.
We're just rattling off. Talk to me about SEO in your mind. How much do you leverage SEO with your brand and your building, and what are you using it for?
Or like you're talking like specifically YouTube?
Yeah, from a market, like, is that the primary focus where you're leveraging it?
Yeah.
And let me pause real quick. So anyone who doesn't know who's listening to this, obviously SEO stands for search engine optimization. It has to do with services and how your stuff becomes discovered through generic searches.
So I am in the process of making a website. And the plan is for the website to be a general hub to bring everything into, but that's a lot of planning down the road. But YouTube has been my big one this last year, and I will be 100% honest, until last year I didn't take any of that shit serious. I just winged it, and I tried to be the funny guy on everything. I tried to just be entertaining, and I always thought that I would not have to take like Google search and trends serious. I really just like sat back and was just like, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. You know what actually woke me up was the first time Dr. Disrespect got banned. I was just like, I'm just gonna change my stream title to Dr. Disrespect got banned, and instantly went from 50 viewers to 500 viewers in like 10 minutes because of Google search, because I showed up at the top, and I was like, holy shit. Even the power of that on Twitch is ridiculous. Now, obviously that's not going to happen every day. You're not, find a Google trend and blow up every single day. But like, that was like one of the first things, is like, dude, I need to like learn more about this stuff. And then I started taking YouTube more serious, like just the overall idea of YouTube. And I finally had some creators reach out to me a little over a year ago. And we're like, dude, there's no reason why you shouldn't have blown up already on YouTube, other than the fact that your SEO fucking sucks. Right. It is so bad. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, dude, you need to learn what's trending. You need to learn how to optimize that on behalf of how you can relate that to your content. And then on top of that, you need to learn how the whole like system works, based on once you start getting a little gas, what is Google and YouTube sending people to you for? And then you need to optimize that. So like the big one, that like the big test, is I had a couple large million plus creators sit down with me, because they, big thanks to those guys, because they believe in the brand and everything, and they're like, dude, do this to your thumbnails, do this to your titles, show me your analytics. So we did that after a week, and he's like, okay, boom, look, this is why people are sending you viewers from Google to you. This is why people are sending people from YouTube to you. These two things. And I never even paid attention to those analytics that are given to everybody on YouTube. Yep. Like everybody has access to them. And then he showed me Google Trends and all that stuff to see what is actually recently trending. So we started doing it with setups. Like one of my video setups started to blow up on YouTube, started to do well on YouTube. So we optimized that. They're like, start having more fun with setup videos. So I did that. And like, yeah, I literally took 4 years to gain my first 1 million views on YouTube. I doubled that in 9 months. I'm about to triple that in 4 months. Or
how many total
like
subscribers do you have right now to your channel?
26,000 right now. I've gained 3,000 in the last 30 days. It took me 2 years to gain my first like 3,000, I think.
Are you paying anything for accelerated SEO?
No.
You're just doing full analytics on the turn channel.
I asked if I should. So I'm luckily, thankfully, through SOAR, I have some relation through some of the same guys that manage FaZe Rug, for example, manage his YouTube channel. And I asked them about that, and they were like, no, not right now. It's just not worth it. I don't know. Some of those things I need to do a better job at learning myself. Like, I'm definitely not educated on that side.
We did a ton of it with the business building and the financial services stuff, because obviously what we wanted when I was, doing my previous job is, if I'm a 65-year-old looking to retire, right? I want to be able to type in retirement services, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I wanted my clients to be popping up among the first Google page. Right. But what we used to talk about, to your point, is you have to have the lead capture, that when that happens, you have the proper funnels all built out, that when this person discovers you, they're immediately locking in and following up with everything else that they need to be doing. that's really tough for small streamers, even streamers of my size, like where we're at. That's really tough to build. That I can get you tuned into one segmentation of my business most often when I'm not live or anything like that, and immediately have you locked in off of cold turkey. Things that would help with that are like you're mentioning, hey, I'm building a website that it's going to pull you to my website that will give you the full universe all in one landing page.
Right.
But yeah, that's the tough part. But I've been interested in doing that because that's the one thing that I feel like I'm not leveraging in the YouTube space as much as I should be from a growth metric is the SEO and really leveraging. I have TikTok figured out pretty well. I understand how that runs and what TikTok algorithm is always going to be a joker card, but you can get a good sense of kind of what it's looking for at least. Like I'll put out videos that I know aren't going to do well, and then I'll put out videos that I hope will. I never put out a video saying I know this is going to go viral. The ones that I always say that to will never.
Dude, I always remind people that my largest YouTube video right now, I think it's about to hit 350K. I literally was like uploading every other day at the time that I made that video, and I needed to get an upload out, and I just moved to North Carolina, and I made that video 100% thinking that it was just going to be trash. No one was going to watch it. It's just a filler because I told myself I'd upload, and it's the biggest upload on my channel. It's the CPM on that is unreal. The metrics that I can use from that now, I sent 15,000 people to IKEA off of one video. Like people don't understand the power of. I actually just put out a tweet about that the other night, which is we should have a whole nother, especially if you know this stuff. This is something I had a couple of buddies that run like talent agencies and shit, very very legitimate ones that have been like for a while. They're like, you need to be doing a better job at learning this shit because I really did for the longest time wing it, and then towards the end of summer. He found out, I had a collaboration with a company, and he's like, well, how's that going? I was like, pretty good. I'm getting like 100 sales a month. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, like my link's getting like 100 sales a month. And this was through a pandemic. And it was for a item that's anywhere from $400 to $700. Mm-hmm. And I generated the company off of 2 YouTube videos. And during a pandemic, over $125,000 on their end after my cut. And now knowing like how much I actually lost on shit like that it's inspired me more to say, wow, I'm not like just hearing like, well, him say, well, if you had done this, this, and this, and took the respectful percentage, which is this is how much more you would gain. Or like even just learning dude, like a year ago, I wasn't paying attention to impressions and reach on YouTube analytics. Just like, I'm still trying to do such a better job. Like this is the gut churning shit. My average click-through rate is still only 5%. So I need to do a better job on YouTube because my click-through rate is shit. Because in the last month, YouTube has done their, and this is where creators always go wrong on YouTube. YouTube's not pushing me out there. It's so unfair. Pay attention to your analytics because YouTube pushed me out to 2 million people in the last month. 2 million people. And only 5% of those people clicked on the videos. Mm-hmm. So I'm not doing my job as a creator
grabbing their
to
attention.
Want them to click on that video. Could be the thumbnail, could be the title, but I'm getting more addicted to learning this stuff. And that's where
it's huge. I love it.
Yeah,
dude, I'm all about improvement and growing, and I'm obsessed.
You know who inspired me with that side, especially the YouTube side? Mr. Beast. Like when he breaks down YouTube, it's so like you feel like an idiot.
Yeah,
you do. He's like, once I discovered that if you have a video that has good click-through rate and good watch time, it's going to blow up. Then I just started making sure my videos had good click-through rate and watch time. Well, at first you're like, TikTok. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's why at first, like you can't control that. Yeah, you can. Like, why do you go to watch a movie without seeing the movie? Because the movie poster is badass. Because the movie title gets you intrigued. You want to watch it. Maybe you watch a trailer for it. You watch a short form content like a TikTok. Oh, wow. He's got a little TikTok out. Maybe I'll go check out the full video. It's all, it's doing all that.
Yeah. I mean, TikTok's the exact same way, right? It's really the 2 metrics on TikTok to make your TikToks go viral or to have more success or more views is watch time and the first attention grab.
Yeah.
I see way too many people's TikToks at the first second is just dead space or it's leading, like they're building this lead. Like they just didn't trim it enough.
Yeah.
but it's such form.
I've had to learn that a lot.
Twitch mentality. You know, it can't be this first, you know, your first second is, hey, TikTok, what's going on? Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
No, that first sentence needs to be, YouTube fucking sucks. Boom.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, well, why? Yeah, you know, you got them.
Yeah.
So that, and then making your videos, the 60-second videos rarely do well. That kind of sweet spot is anywhere from that like 20 to the 35 range. And especially on like my gaming clips, which I've fallen back in love with putting out for a while there. I wasn't doing any gaming clips. I was just doing IRL and like speaking stuff, which was good. But I think it has value there as far as the transition of people back over to Twitch. But even then, I force myself now, unless I really want this to be a long form 60-second video, a lot of them, I'll cut it to 60 seconds and say, all right, how do I get this to 30? Cut it. Get it to 30 seconds. And you'll be amazed at the stuff that you had in there because it was like just dead space in between. You're like, well, this kind of tells me how I got to this point. And it's like, they don't care. I
had two. The guy that I said that manages Rug, and then Bad Seed Tech. He's got over 250,000 subs. Very big growing YouTuber. Does like reviews and stuff. I had those guys just straight out for like a month. I would send them the uploads, and they're like, "Dude, cut out this whole minute of shit. Cut out, dude. You said this already in the video. Cut it out. You're." And I used to average 2 minutes and 50 seconds of watch time on videos that were like 20 minutes long because it was just so much fluff. Now on like some of the recent videos in this last month, that's the big thing I've been working on for this last like 6 months is like, I need to keep people watching.
Correct.
I had such a low number of people clicking off, and then I got to work on the click-through rate as well. But now like I'm getting to the point where I'm like 20-minute videos. They're watching like the average is 10 minutes, which is really fucking high for like videos that are getting thousands of views. So happy about that, but click-through rate, that's just so tough. It's so tough because, you know, there's just so much that goes into a factor of like what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, it is. How many videos are you pumping out a week now? You said you were doing every day. Where are you at now?
I'm flowing right now. I was doing every day through the month of February, and I had a big burnout. Well, like through the start of February. Like I made it 17 days. I felt like I was going great, but just like back end stuff, like just a lot of things going on in my life. It's tax season. I got to get all my taxes ready. We just moved into this new house, so it's just more headache this year. We just moved down to North Carolina in this last year and a half, so everything's been a lot. So I don't know. I had a weird burnout like a week and a half or so ago, and I wanted to just keep doing the videos because I felt very good. But I took advice from a couple guys, and they're like, no, just take some days off. So I stopped then. But dude, I'm just creating videos as I want to at this point. Some people think that I'm like really, really trying to force them. And like, I'm really like genuinely coming in my office, doing some side stuff. And like an idea comes up and it's like, I see the camera. I'm like, well, just start recording. Like, that's just where I am right now. And I told a couple of people, like, I want to like the quality. I'm getting a lot of response about the quality. People are happy with how I'm making them. I feel like I'm in a routine, and I'm just kind of like going with the flow for now until I feel that I let off the gas a little bit. I'm finally getting a lot of ideas out. But I will say the big transition last year was when I moved to once every Monday, when I slowed down with just like pumping out garbage, I guess I would say, just a whole bunch of fluff, learning how to tag and title. But then like I wasn't learning how to get the watch time up. I was just like, let's just talk about stuff. Go. I wasn't scripting, like not scripting, but like having structure. Yeah. If I'm going to talk about 5 points, have them written down first before I just start to wing it and be like, okay, well, I'm leeching on to the next thing. When I slowed down, started doing weekly uploads, having a whole week to make an upload at the time was like, wow, that was a game changer for me. But yeah, I think the sweet spot for me is I'd like to have at least one video out a week, at the very least. If it's a week where it's just like, I just got one banger I want to make, like I'm going to put out one video. And that was
VODs at all?
Like from the live streams?
Yeah, videos on demand, like just stream highlights and all that stuff.
Yeah, on the gaming channel. Yes, I am.
How are those on views versus your original content?
Well, I mean, that's like today, this video. So on my main channel, VODs, the streams, I unlist them, right? But I keep them in that's what people do on YouTube. That's what, like,
makes sense.
Fwiz even has suggested that if you don't want, if this is on the aspect of your full-time creator and you're uploading highlight, like kind of like a Tim the Tatman Courage, if you're uploading highlights every day on top of streaming, because a live stream, if you keep a live stream public, it's 2 alerts, right? So it's the alert of going live. And then if you let it be public after it's live, it's the alert of it's a video, it's a VOD.
Video. Yep.
Bingo. So on top of that, if you're also uploading a video a day, that's 3 alerts a day. YouTube allows 3 alerts without screwing up the algorithm. That's in Google. That's what they've stated that. But like YouTube Gaming told me, that tool is there. How your audience is going to take that is up on you. Just because the algorithm says, well, that's not annoying, we'll push it out there, people watch, we'll keep pushing it. That's not to say that if you have 20,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers get 3 alerts in the day and they're like, dude, this guy's super annoying, I'm gonna click off. It's all based on your community. On my streaming channel, it's been interesting because when I first started to get the watch time, I left the streams public. And I was like, when I get YouTube Partner Program, I'll take them off. Well, like, dude, to my surprise, like some of these streams double in views and watch time and ad revenue. I'm like, well, there's no way that many people are watching. And then when I be in my live streams, I get a lot of people that are like, dude, I'm at work and like, I just use your streams as like what you were talking about. You use your streams, even your VODs, it's just background noise on YouTube. It's like super interesting stuff, especially if you talk about stuff or, you know, lately has been like playing a lot of Apex. So I went back to keeping them public and they grow very well on there. On this channel, actually, today was going to be the first day with the Biggie Hangouts where I was just going to let it fly. I was going to let it be public because of like the topic we were talking about. I wanted to see how this works on my main channel. So I'll be able to get back to you on that, how well this does here. But I mean, even the unlisted ones, they grow. The one with me and Rob, for example, it grew an extra few hundred views just being unlisted still. But it's in my playlist on my front page. Yeah. So it's like my Biggie Hangouts playlist is there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I play around with it because my VODs, I mean, I'll get.
So do you just like your straight up stream VOD, you just upload that to YouTube as well?
Depends on it. If it's a full game, like if I'm trying to do full playthroughs, like we were doing with Hitman 3, I'll take the full thing and put that out there. If it's more the same like Warzone, I'll do stream highlights. But those, I mean, they get the same view counts pretty much, which is, I don't know, let's call it 100. All said and done, 100 views, which is, I'm not a big channel. I have 3.8 thousand followers. A lot of that came off short form content. I've nowhere near gotten into, like we were just talking about, the SEO and the analytics. I'm just now starting to dive in. That's why I'm asking questions, because I'm literally in the last couple of weeks really studying this way more than I ever have before, because I want YouTube to be a viable source for me. But then I'm also, like when I form original content, which is more like, let's talk about how to grow on Twitch, let's talk about how to edit for TikTok, let's talk about business growth or mindsets of building a business. That stuff normally gets anywhere from 300 to, I think my biggest video has close to 3,000 views now, but I don't have anything that's much more viable than that.
You know, it's interesting too. I actually completely forgot about this. I got a couple buddies that their way of utilizing YouTube is they've noticed in these last couple of years that the playthroughs on their Twitch don't do as well as first-person shooters. So they've been going live in the mornings, getting their playthrough, like I can't remember what games he plays, but just like story mode games or playthroughs. Like he's just been doing that on YouTube, and you know, obviously with the VOD system of that, especially if it's like
it's already there.
Like I know a couple people.
That's actually
like
smart.
Cyberpunk was a good one. That like really set some people out by playing that on YouTube and then streaming their normal stuff on Twitch. They noticed quite an uptick. And that, you know, that's like the big thing too, is like these are the ideas I try to give people as well, is like that just him streaming those things could have brought, let's just say they got him 200 new subscribers on YouTube that genuinely liked that aspect of him, and that correlated to 25 new viewers on Twitch. The whole idea is not saying just like, hey, F Twitch, it's going nowhere, it's going downhill, stupid, just go to YouTube. That's not the point. I'm just saying this creator was smart to see this tool set and knew what he wanted to do, so he utilized that And now he's benefiting on everything from it. You take me, like I've made some of the YouTube video stuff. Well, then that made Rob, Big Rob, Little Rob Energy wanna like, he's like, dude, I want to spark up a conversation on TikTok, because this is really interesting, because all I really knew was Twitch and I didn't know all these things about YouTube. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should do the same thing. So it's like, even me trying it over here has helped out with my TikTok, and then helps out the conversation over there. It's been gaining me Twitch followers. So it's just, yeah, it's always like constantly producing. But dude, yeah, I want to get so much better back to the SEO part, because like that is learn
enough.
That is the passive income of knowledge, though, right? Or of people. That is, by learning SEO, that is where you truly get the opportunity to have less time or more time for you, and have your stuff grow on the back end, right? That is like, I guess that's a little bit of like the tweak that I've enjoyed about, messing with YouTube, is right now, while me and you are live right here, like my videos are growing on YouTube, and people are ready for me to go live again on YouTube. As where like right now on Twitch, even though people are coming from other sites, the Twitch channel in itself is sleeping until I ever go live on there again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's, it's also up to, I'd love to know how Twitch alerts work, by the way. Just side note. I would love to know.
They're bugged.
Yeah. And they've been for, you said you've been on for a year. Like, dude, I've had issues with Twitch alerts for, I would say, 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah, Twitch alerts are bugged. They only show up, I don't know how they decided, but only a percentage of like the ones that actually go live. And then the problem, to your point, the way I counter that is I push to Discord, because Discord I know will send it out. So I have a live channel inside of my Discord that I'll alert there. But then I got a problem of, well, some people might get 2 alerts from me. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I got a Discord server too, and I need to do a better job. I have like 700 something people in there, but I don't know. I can't get a good transfer on Discord. Like, and people are talking. I had a buddy that's a big Discord guy. It's been helping me out with the channel. He's like, dude, new people are joining. People are tuning in. People are having conversations. Just people don't want to click on alerts. And I mean, I'm okay with it, but it's just like trying to figure out, like, again, it's kind of like back to the SEO like what, like getting into people's head. What's holding them back? What am I doing wrong as a creator?
That's why that's how I leverage Discord. Discord for me is my opportunity to talk to my community in a more exclusive and intimate setting. And so when we talk about that whole, right, what am I doing to provide $4.99 worth of value that somebody is watching me saying, yo, this is worth $5 of my monthly income. That could be entertainment, that could be education, or, the 3 E's. Obviously, you got the emotional. So what can I be doing, and how do I play on these to be able to bring that to the forefront in different ways? Discord is my way to directly connect to them, because I feel like from the emotional standpoint, there's a lot of people that what they love about communities is community. Not just that we all like this creator. It's no, we all get to know each other. You build relationships, you build foundations. Bingo. So how can I continue to cultivate that while still providing value on the other kind of elements that are there? Discord becomes a really good opportunity for that. Or to your standpoint, like if I got a question like that, guess what? I can go to my Discord. I can go to my Discord and type a question like that, tag everybody. I'm not gonna do that every day, but if it's something that's really viable, and shoot it out, right? Or even like last night we were messing around with Call of Duty had their brand new update for season 2. With that came zombies, which I never stream it at all. But we were just messing around with it off stream, me and a buddy of mine, and we had 2 open spots later in the evening. So I'm able to go to Discord and say, hey, we got 2 open spots, first come, first serve, tag everybody who's here, and send that out. And literally that becomes a situation where people who want to play with me, but when we're live on stream, as I'm especially getting more intimate, like what we talked about at the beginning of the stream, I'm really selective of who I'm playing with live on stream. Hey, we get a chance to game. And we had 2 people hop in last night who literally we played for, 3 hours. Like, I mean, we just get, and it was a lot. We had a blast. I mean, we had a lot of fun. But again, that's an opportunity for me to connect with them, to provide them that value and that opportunity on top of all the other elements. And you add in the pennies and they all add up is kind of my philosophy. Discord, I think, is a huge tool. And that's why I think a lot of big creators spend so much time and effort really getting it to the point that it's viable.
Yeah, I need to do a much better job with my YouTube. or with my Discord. 100%.
Also your YouTube.
Oh, my YouTube too. I do, man. I don't know. I didn't know how through rate was till actually yesterday, ironically, because I was just like kind of curious because a couple of the videos didn't perform well this last week compared to like how some of them have been doing. So, and a couple of people commented was like, well, your click-through rate's bad, but your watch time is so good. I'm like, well, okay, well, it's people's typical click-through rate. And like, yeah, mine's like horrible compared to other people, which lately, you wouldn't think, if you weren't paying attention to those analytics, you wouldn't think anything is wrong because views are up. We had last month was the highest amount of views that I've ever hit, the highest amount of ad revenue that I ever hit. We gained the most amount of subscribers in 1 month, but like not, if I wasn't paying attention to that side, I would not know, holy shit, I lost out on so many people potentially finding like going above and beyond, you know? And so, yeah,
I'm never happy. I'm never satisfied.
I don't think you can.
I could do 9 things right and the one thing wrong is gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need more hours in my day.
Yeah. I think that's, dude, you're preaching to the choir. Especially like you're talking about sleeping earlier. I'm just like, I started making a roll with myself. Like I'm just, you know, I've dreamt of having this lifestyle for years. And then like the first couple of years of me, the designer part was the big one. When I first started was losing weight and was doing graphic design and then started streaming on the back end. I was all about like staying up till like 2 a.m. and was still waking up at like 5:30 to work out. And like I had a huge, obviously, crash. And like I would get sick easier.
That's what I got. Your immune system crashes and you get, I literally got into modes where like you feel like a zombie. And
yes.
And you're literally just running on fumes and supplements, caffeine, whatever it may be. And you go in these your body gets in these really weird waves when it knows it needs to peak. And so like my body got in a situation where it knew, hey, 8 p.m. we're going live and you need to bring it. So guess what happened? Right around 6 p.m., I would go in this huge lull where literally if I laid down, I would pass out.
Yeah.
Because your body is preparing for the energy it needs to spike back up at 8. And it messes with you so hard. I mean, literally, it was so bad. And then the second that you're done with everything, you just get in these really bad routines and you're beating your body up for no reason.
Yeah.
Because you feel like I need to pump out 3 TikToks today. Otherwise the algorithm's going to screw me. No, pump out 1. That's good. Yeah. Like you're fine.
Actually, I just talked about this. Can't remember if it was a video or TikTok. Like, as creators, it's really biggest thing that I've had to learn throughout all these years. Like, even through growth, you can afford to take that week off. Mm-hmm. Like, I know Twitch is a tough one. I know that's the one where a lot of people are like, no,
that's your revenue.
That's where, you know, that's actually where a lot of like the reason why I wanted to make the conversation about YouTube like a couple months ago to even start off with why that started was because of like when I found myself in that unhealthy state of like when I was a full-time Twitch streamer and all my revenue was through Twitch. And that the first month we moved down to North Carolina, the month of like not making as much because I wasn't live because of the bits and all the extra gifted subs and stuff. Obviously there was some sustainability, the donations though, but like clearly a month being live is much different than a month of not being live.
Correct.
Right?
Substantially.
And so I had that first like slope, and then I came back and a month was a big break to move. And a lot of people moved on. A lot of people found other streamers. A lot of people started streaming themselves. I can't express to you like the first year that we got crazy growth on Twitch and went full time, the majority, I would honestly say 50 to 75% of my active viewers, they're streamers now. They all stream. Correct. So it's like you can't be mad at people. I say that all the time. You can't be mad at that. Like, especially the content I make, I try to inspire people to do shit. How hypocritical would that be? You should just start streaming, forehead. Oh, but you know what? Don't do it because I want you to support me 24/7. So, that was another thing where I had to like learn the valuable lesson of, diversitize content and spread yourself out there and stuff like that. Build a core community around also you, not necessarily the topic. Because like, what is the saying? People who do just do, and people who can't do teach.
Yeah.
And so
people who can't do teach.
Yes. And so all these years through, I don't know, huge backstory, 9 years ago was the first time I actually was able on YouTube to leave my job for like a year because I was making so much with graphic design. And I had a YouTube channel back in the day that was, for back then, was big. I had like, in 2012, I had like 10 to 15,000 subscribers on a previous YouTube channel. I did a lot of design tutorials and got a lot of views off of it. But I found myself in this unhappy place because all I was doing was trying to figure ways how to teach people to do stuff. Now, nobody was actually sitting here for me. They were just wanting to learn it and move on. Learn it, move on. And when I came back with designs and build a brand back in here with that, I wanted to find a happy medium of sharing my life, documenting, and doing that. And I did. But then when Twitch came along, I found a lot of growth from doing here's how to set up your OBS. Here's your best settings. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do that. People, here's how to start streaming. Here's how to gain X amount of viewers. And people would come to those streams. They would have these conversations. But like the second it didn't benefit them or they had to go live, they were out. And again, you can't be mad about it. That as I took kind of a shortcut way into the tutorial world a couple times. And that's just something I'm trying to. That's why I like to do the stuff on.
It works, but it doesn't. I mean, so
Correct.
When I went live, before I made that decision, right, I separated service from my previous job. It was not a planned decision by any stretch of the means. I mean, I think I knew it was coming. I wasn't super happy with my current situation, but we literally sat down for a 2021 planning call. And by the end of that call, we're like, yeah, we're not going to be partnering with each other moving forward. And we just separated. And this happened all in one day. So when that happened, I was sitting there looking at this saying, okay, what do I want to do? Like, on what's next on my agenda, right? What's the next best move for me? I started weighing my options and looking at all the valuable things that I could do. And I reached out to a few larger content creators and specifically talked to them about that. And one of them was very brutally honest with me. And she just basically said, the number one thing that I see that's going to be a hindrance to you is you're making too much content for other content creators. She goes, that's not your audience. Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it. Stop doing self-promo pages in your Discord. Stop creating content about how to grow on Twitch. Stop
exactly what I did.
Yeah, stop doing all of these things because guess what? That's not your target audience. Those are people who will stop in for 10 minutes out of the stream, 30 seconds out of the stream. They'll say, hey, it's a good networking thing that you want to build. You want to build that network so that you have people you can rely on. But at the end of the day, you need to be targeting your audience. You need to be selfish about your audience. Right?
Yeah.
And so the content you need to create needs to be attracting that audience and bringing those people over to your stream, because those are the people that aren't going to be there for 30 seconds just to say hi, hey, right before I go live. These are the people that are going to be there for the whole stream or half the stream, right? They're going to be there hyping you up and welcoming new members because they're excited to be part of the community. They're your consumer base. They're your clientele. That's who you're taking care of versus the other people. They're there to just kind of be there.
And I even found more problem in all that, like trying to teach other creators to be creators. Mm-hmm. It even like devalued the process and conversation of just like people wanting to be there for my brand. Because in the chat, they're just wanting to chat. They're just wanting to enjoy the content that's being put in front of them. Some people don't want to see the conversation of like, how to. They just, because some people don't care. They just want to see what Big E or Bad Bear is going to do today.
Correct.
What kind of stupid shit are you going to get yourself into? How, like, if this guy gets a donation, how weird will that be? Like, what will happen if this happens? And they don't want to tune in and have a full lecture. Like, I mean, some people today probably even came through to. It's just, really
funny that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
While literally talking about this.
Well, I noticed it actually in TikTok chat and earlier, and my mods were already on top of it. Like, some people come through and they want to just Like, and that's why I try to make it clear and try to separate the content and stuff. And yeah, some people, like, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear what we're talking about right now. And that's fine. And like, I'm not trying to, I don't know how much longer I will actually even, like, in the months to come, even talk about the YouTube versus Twitch stuff. Cause like, I'm not trying to build a brand on YouTube versus Twitch.
No, but that becomes my question of, okay, what type of videos do I need to be creating?
Bingo.
That literally has been a discussion in my mind for the last 3 weeks since going full time is, okay, what type of, that's why I got away from a lot of those higher produced videos and got more back to VODs and gameplay clips and things like that versus the chatting stuff, because that's the audience that I want to build. But then you got to think about, okay, how do I create something that's in that space that creates, attracts the people I want to attract while still being innovative.
Right.
While still creating things that are different and new. And that's not easy.
Yeah. Oh, it's not. I've known for a long time what I need to do. And like, I've been procrastinating and so scared to do it for so, like, I need to do skits. I got to, like, I know. And I've had companies, I've had success, like big effing creators reach out with like, dude, your skits. Like, this is always hard for me to say out loud, like talking to another person. Cause it's like, I try to be a humble person. I really do. This is just like me as an adult, knowing, hearing what other people have to say and what people do enjoy and what's worked. Like, if I look in the past years, what are the only things that's went viral for me? Skits. They really have. I haven't really learned how to transition them into YouTube. And that's what I need to do as a creator. But I'm so scared to figure out how, because it's going to take a huge pivot. That's going to be a drastic pivot for my channel.
My most viral video is me doing that Atlantis thing.
Dude, that was one of the first videos that I found of you. And then I think Rob was in a tournament with you. And then I seen another one where you basically were like, I'm tired of like sweaty work. And I was just getting into Warzone after a huge year of Escape from Tarkov.
The Chuck E. Cheese tournament.
Yeah, I don't want to play these sweats. So I was like, cool, sign me up. But at the time, like the whole meme was, because I had like 10,000 followers on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And the whole meme was like, I'm not big enough, so I never get invited to Warzone tournaments and stuff. So like,
I get invited to them and I don't want to be there.
Yeah. Holy shit. Me and Rob finally got into one. I was super pumped. And about 2 hours in, I'm like, I want to go downstairs and eat or something productive. The most
fun thing that's happened in any of I've played in 3 tournaments now, are all pretty viable sizes, right? All were invite only. I had to see the roster before I agreed to them. The most outside of my birthday tournament was something. That was all content on creators. Yeah, that was a lot of fucking fun. But we're talking the actual tournaments and the stuff like that. The highlight of my entire existence was getting killed by Lucci. That was it. Crazy. I was Lucci's bounty and he killed me. That was it. Sweet. Awesome. Great. We did it. I'm glad I invested 6 hours into tournament play.
Just for that. Yeah.
Just for that one moment that I never even made into a video, because it's self-rewarding. Like, yo, Lucci killed me. I got a couple shots off and he killed me. I had one of my things from the tournament is I had this ridiculously insane snipe on Benjamins. Like, anyone could snipe Benjamins.
Well, like,
I'm teasing.
I was on the wing by that airport.
Yeah.
And the helicopter flew by in the distance. And I was just like, I took a couple shots and I was just like, I'm just going to keep taking shots. And as the helicopter passed through the smoke from the plane crash, I got him out of the helicopter through the smoke. Like, just complete random luck. But I never made a TikTok about it. Easy TikTok. One of the easiest things I could have made. Never made a TikTok on it.
Yeah, for me, it's about finding what's going to be that next kind of pivotal thing to move away from helping other creators and helping them build their brands and their business, which I will do for my inner circle. You know, the people that if they got questions and especially if they're part of my community, like if they're showing up to my streams regularly and partaking and I know they're going on that branch and they want to spend some time, awesome. But for instance, I was going as far as not only creating TikToks about that, but I had a channel inside of my Discord that we were supporting for a while called the Alpha Club, which was literally like, hey, if you're one of our top supporters in the channel, for the next month, I'll give you, direct access. We'll sit down, we'll have conversations, we'll play with each other at some point. Like, we'll do this, we'll do that. And I was like, that just can't be my focus moving forward. When I sat down and had this conversation with this other creator, I think she's in my chat, so I'm going to call her out for it, and I apologize for it. Sweet Tails is who, she spent a good solid 90 minutes with me talking about the pros and cons of going full time.
Love her content, by the way, too.
She's hilarious. You got a fan Tails? But so she literally spent 90 minutes with me just talking about the pros and the cons and what do I need to weigh and what decisions need to be. And it was just, she's so dead on by just literally saying that, moving forward, if you're going to go full time, you have to be making content and focusing on your community and the people that are there. The exact word she used is you got to be selfish, which is just so incredibly true, because the time that you invest in other people won't return back. Yes, there'll be some loyaltism as far as, they'll promote you and say, oh, that was the guy who helped me. That's the guy who got me started. That's the guy who, really put us on the map. But at the end of the day, as that person becomes more successful, that goes away because they're building their own brand. Right. They no longer want to call you the guy who helped them get on, because now they want to start saying, I did this on my own, because they did. I mean, realistically, for most cases.
You gotta find a point. This is the big pivoting year for me. Where it's like, you got to find that sweet spot as a creator where you could inspire people, but not just educate people all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there's a huge difference.
There's a huge. People see you and they say, if he can do it, I can do it. I'm a 30-year-old dad of one, right? Mm-hmm. Overweight, right? A little bit of a goofy personality. I'm an average dude. Right. I'm a Midwestern guy. I'm a Minnesota boy. Right. Yeah. That's what I am. So if I can sit here and build a community and get to the point where, hey, we're pushing for partner
all the time.
Yeah. Anyone can do that. That's inspiring. The difference is am I going to be investing the time to sit there and walk you through what it is? Is my brand going to be me coaching you? Some people, that's their brand. Right. Sam was in your chat earlier.
And
Harris Heller
thought about that.
Crushes that department.
Yeah. And a lot of people always, actually, if you look at my YouTube analytics, that's one of my biggest YouTube suggests people to my channel from his, and vice versa. Alpha Gaming, that's a huge one. And honestly, I really didn't pay too much attention to him till this last year, when so many people were constantly like, dude, thank you and Alpha, thank you and Harris, thank you and Sam on the stuff. So I started getting more into them. But yeah, dude, it's tough. It is, because it's not easy content to we see it on TikTok right now. Look how many people on TikTok are blowing up for hey, streamer tips. But they're like, me and majority of the stuff is bullshit. And so it's trying to find that middle ground where I can at least tell people, hey, wake up a little bit. Here's some options without, I don't want to just be I'm not trying to build this brand to be that YouTube guy. I'm just not. It's just not happening. That's not my goals. Mm-hmm. But there was a point where even so many people were starting to message me. It was dude, how much for you to mentor me? And I actually thought
$1 million.
And $1 million. That's not that much anymore, sir. 1 trillion. No. But on YouTube, a plus side with YouTube is you control your memberships. You can control how much they're worth. And the biggest one goes up to $100. And I actually was I asked a couple of people one day, I was all right, well, what if I opened up a Biggie mentor? The $100 members we'll do two streams, weekend streams, a month, where we sit down, let me see your shit. What are you doing wrong? But then I realized I don't know, that's easy. That's fast money. And I think I would have professional fun in that. I think I would find enjoyment of helping people, but I think that still would just set a bad tone if that's not my end game.
I think it needs to depend on what you're doing, right? We talked earlier about the branches of your business, of your growth, and everything that you're doing. Okay, so my branches are extended. What do I want those various income producing assets to be? Right? You mentioned that you're doing graphic design, and that's one income asset into your business. I think it's fine if you're using that as an income asset. But if you're using that as the brand identity of what you're trying to portray, that's where it becomes an issue. Once you're inside of my community and you're a content creator, if I wanted to do kind of like you mentioned, hey, listen, guys, here's what we're doing. I'm doing an exclusive group. I got 5 spots open. We're going to do 4 hours, just me and you guys, $50, subscribe, get in. We'll block it out, whatever. And it's going to be almost like a mini boot camp where we're looking at your stuff. We'll talk directly about you. We'll go through one by one, each person, whatever. that could be an income producing revenue for me, but I'm not promoting that on the other channels to sit here and say, yo guys, you should follow me because yeah, you can follow me. My niche, right? My brand is helping.
What's up, everybody? YouTube guru Big E coming.
Yo.
Like, yeah.
Bad Bear, the growth mentor. No, I mean, it's that, but that ultimately needs to become. So that's why it's becoming extremely challenging, especially for me to sit here and really, it's not challenging, that's a bad word, but at least putting back to the drawing board of saying, okay, if that was my content for a while, what type of content do I need to be producing moving forward? Specifically, as we're talking about YouTube, on these longer form content, that if it's not coaching and mentoring, which I don't want it to be, what is it? Because the VODs, I don't think the VODs work, right? The VODs are a good supplement. That's for my community. I don't use that to attain new viewers.
Right.
I think that's something that if somebody wants to see that and they want to, come check it out, it's more entertainment. It's for them. But what is my discoverability content is the question.
Yeah. And that's why like I love skits, because that's where I can be.
Can you make long form skits? Like I'd be terrified to be like, yo, I'm going to film a 10-minute skit of myself. One man, me and Thor, we're filming skits.
I've got like 4-minute long ones on here on YouTube. What kind of dog is that?
That's an English bulldog. He doesn't look like he's too interested in the skit. Thor? No, he's done.
Taking a little lap nap.
He's in the gulag.
Yeah, it's tough. That's the biggest thing. Not even just creators, just anybody, human beings in general, is like, who are you? What are you going to do? Like, what will actually like make you happy? I've gotten so many reality checks on that throughout the years. Like, what will actually, there's a point where I was like, I want to leave my job to do graphic design for the first time. Did it, became successful at it, became very successful at it. Just found out that it just wasn't my thing. But I enjoyed the process of doing that and learning all these new things, learning how to do it, learning how to market myself, learning how to go against the grain when a lot of people weren't doing those things. And then it was like, just Twitch. At a certain point in time, I was like, all I want to do is be a Twitch streamer. And so I got to the point where I did it, and it's like, it's not all I want to do. So it's like, I'm probably going to, personally, it's going to take me a while to still figure out what I want to do. And some people would think I got my shit together, and I don't. So
one of my favorite streamers, her name is just Dish now. Very good vibes. She worded it correctly, which was, for her, she really embraces the content creation, right, in all assets.
Yeah.
She goes, streaming for me is the reward. She goes, I allow myself to stream if the content is done, but the content has to come first. If the content's not done, she's like, I can't stream because I can't fully embrace it. Yeah. She goes, when I do it that way, she goes, I always get my content done, but then she goes, I actually enjoy the stream because I'm not like, yo, I need this right now. Like, this is this is the reward for me busting my ass on the YouTube video that I just worked all day on.
It's so nice now going into and again, to not discredit Twitch. It's not a Twitch versus YouTube thing, but in my current experience, on YouTube, and just like my overall general mentality, with streaming right now, it is so nice to go live and just, the stream is just a stream. And it's not, there was that point where I cucked myself and it was my full-time thing. I can't explain like how bad of a position it is for anybody to be in that like wants to be a streamer, and like you go live every day knowing that there are two things that need to happen. One, you make money. Two, you don't make money. And having that on your head when you're live, and like you're just supposed to be you when you're live, but having that on your head, it's still a decision that shouldn't be that much weight on you. You should just be able to go live and be yourself.
It's so transparent when you start stressing about stuff. When you're stressing about viewer counts, subscription numbers, overall revenue, whatever, it's so transparent.
How hypocritical of me when there was a time where I was like, you just got to do what you enjoy. But people could clearly see when I went live, I was stressing out. Yeah. I was like, always, don't worry about the number. Then I would be like, oh my God, we're down 20 viewers.
Bitch, where are my viewers?
Yep. Yeah. I was becoming so toxic with myself, with my community. I was feeling needy. Where did all my growth go? I didn't do my job as a creator to capitalize on my growth. Period. That's what happened. It wasn't Twitch's fault. It wasn't my community's fault. It was the content I made and how I didn't do more to sustain it. Period. It was a huge learning lesson. And like I said, luckily I had a couple people help me with the understanding of taking YouTube serious. And once the power of YouTube is like, once you get engines going, it's sustainable. It really is. Like when I got COVID last year, YouTube saved me because it like I could afford to take that month.
It does what Twitch doesn't, which is it's working when you're not. Twitch is literally only working for you when you are live. YouTube is working 24/7. Whether you're sleeping, you're sick, you're away, you're dead, it's going.
And like I actually just talked about that in the top 5 things I wish I knew when I started YouTube. Because like when I first started, I was so in the thought of like this video performing now. And I didn't think that videos I did 5 years ago would be making me money today, whether it's $1 or $2 or not. Dude, it's very simple math. I have 700 videos on my channel. Okay. Like even if 100 videos are making 25 cents a day, like it's very easy to understand the impact that has on a channel long term. I actually remember years ago, I was trying to explain to Rob when I first started getting some growth on YouTube and I started getting ad revenue. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, because at the time he's like, no way I can do YouTube a lot because like it doesn't pay off. And I'm like, now it doesn't pay off now. It will in the future. And I didn't know how strong that payoff would be. I'm telling you, like, it's always hard to talk money because it's such a taboo thing.
Well, let's do this. Let's talk about percentage wise. Walk me through percentage wise your overall revenue right now, strictly speaking from content creation, not the graphic design stuff. How much is coming?
I don't do graphic design, by the way. I don't. Oh. I'm completely retired from that for 2 years now.
Well, there you go.
I do it for myself. Like I do it for funsies and for my content, but I don't take projects.
But percentage-wise, how much is coming off of things like your YouTube revenue from those videos versus your subscriptions in your live streams? Or what other percentage is coming elsewhere?
It's as you know, obviously with the business, it's so much of every little thing. It's ad revenue, it's affiliate links, it's sponsorships. I would say
I'm more curious, is it like, are you saying that like, hey, my YouTube revenue right now off of my videos and focusing on this and getting video views and the money that comes off of the ad revenue from those video views is half of my earnings, or is it a quarter of my earnings, or is, you know, like for me, my Twitch revenue right now off of subscriptions and donos and bits is 98% of my income because my other ones aren't income producing. TikTok doesn't pay me. Instagram doesn't pay me, right? YouTube isn't to the point that I can monetize off of it yet. That's why it's a big focus.
I would say YouTube is probably 50% of my stability. Does that make sense? Like, because I just have so much, like so many things will spike in a month. And it could be like, let's take Secret Labs, for example. Like, let me just use Secret Labs. 1 month, Secret Lab affiliate links through the fact that I made YouTube videos could pop off and I could double in the sales of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard to gauge. And that's with a couple products and a couple like Amazon associates, just 1 month they could double. But like the sustainability of YouTube, I would say it's like, it's always like for the last year, it's been like 25 to 50%, no matter how well things,
that's
like in the total
streaming.
of a month. Yes. Yeah. Without the streaming.
How much of that is without the affiliate stuff? How much of that is ad revenue from them, from YouTube specifically?
20 guaranteed, 20%
of the big picture, or of the 50, 25, 50?
Like I analyze a lot of things on rate of living. I need this to do that. I need X amount of money for savings, healthcare, everything. And based off my standard needs, it's like it now covers a guaranteed 25%
of what you need.
Of what I need.
And that's just
to be an adult, to pay, like, I mean, mortgage on a $250,000 home, a $50,000 car, like, but the power is, and this is what shocked me, is YouTube literally, YouTube was literally like for years, it was like, just straight out blatant some numbers. For years, it was $50 a month in ad revenue. And it was nice because it was just like, that's just $50. I enjoy making videos. Like, it's just coming in, right? Because just a little ad revenue, just for years. During the adpocalypse, so obviously ads were down. And literally in months of taking it serious and starting to get like, and it's not a lot of views, like 100 to 200,000 views a month. I'm talking going from 50 to 250 to 500. And like, you can get the picture here. Like going up and up and up. And like how fast that transition was to the stability. That's the key point, stability. I could stop doing videos today.
And it's just,
and
it's residual.
I could probably go all the way to July, and it will just based off the rate of how everything's growing, like the videos that are making, because the more views you get, the more support you get, the more CPM you get, the more like it's a churning wheel. It is hard, but that is the point. It's hard to get that wheel going. It really is.
What are your most viral videos on YouTube?
The setup video, a
setup of OBS, setup of your stream, like your equipment,
IKEA setup hack, like how to build a setup. But that's the video where I said it was the dumbest thing. Like I was just like, we moved to North Carolina. I had to move like in a fast pinch. I was really big into like documenting a setup build because I was using a lot of my stream revenue for the setup to have this big, extravagant, cool setup at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And within a pinch, I was like, well, none of my stuff is coming down. It's in the trailer still in Ohio. I was like, I'm just going to go to IKEA. I got like $150. Let's see what I can get. And I got a sick setup for like $125. That's actually sitting right here in the corner of my room. I still use it to this day as like a little extra. It's badass. So I was like, oh, well, that'd be perfect. So all I did was I shut down. I'm in this empty office with this setup, and the camera is pointing at me from above the computer. I'm like, I'm going to show you how I could build this setup from IKEA for under $150. And so like, I just go on the IKEA website, show exactly what I used. And that video has 350,000 views now. Just one video. And that's like, the perspective is too, like when I made that video, I made it for the fun and interest, and that the ad revenue in that video alone, like, is astonishing. Absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, I'm buying. Sure.
Because the CPM, because it's such a general based video. Obviously, like,
well, that's something that not just gamers, right? That's something that, especially when you talk about COVID, everyone's working from home. People are trying to find cheap solutions to get workstations done.
Yep. Yeah, that was a big thing because people, were looking up how to build it during COVID. I had updates on it. I fed off that video. I mean, the amount of ideas that came off that video, I probably have like 20 related setup videos on my channel. Another one's about to hit 100,000 this week that I did a couple months ago. Another one's hitting 50,000 this week. I did a month ago. But yeah, the other top videos on my channel is like Twitch panels. Ironically, that was like one of my biggest videos for a long time. How to create Twitch panels. And Behance. Behance is like a portfolio site for designing and stuff, like how to build like a constructive portfolio. But dude, the amount of, I'll check in every other day, and videos from like 4 years ago that were just absolutely trash, or like just overnight went from like 100 views to 50,000 views. And that's like one thing I want to remind everybody too, because like for years I've gotten obviously so much of like the camera quality, the setup quality stuff. Some of my best performing videos on my channel are the worst quality produced. The worst. Colors horrible, sounds horrible, but like
I talked about this the other day about TikTok. I believe TikTok is getting to a point where more YouTube creators are coming over, which has increased the quality. And to be honest with you, I think that there's a lot of people that immediately see that, like, because there's that benchmark, right? All of a sudden you see this quality level of film and editing.
Yeah, like my TikToks,
But they immediately see that and they scroll. Like, I'm one of those people that I'll scroll off of, unless I know who you are. If I see super produce, done. I want to see it. I'm on that app to see. Yeah.
TikTok actually did there was actually like public knowledge shown months ago. I don't know where it is now. But I mean, even TikTok itself will recommend mobile content. Used to. This was like a year ago. Me and Rob sat down and we've seen this shit.
I see my numbers are way up when I record. If I just record via the app on my phone versus a file that's been uploaded. 100%, they do. I mean, again, if I go back to my most viral video, that stupid Atlantis video, first of all, that was me, to your point, that was me producing content every single day saying, I don't have a TikTok for today, but I had this audio saved for 3 months. I'm just going to do it now. It's filmed on the front-facing camera in low light situation, so it's super grainy. It was probably the least satisfied I was with the TikTok ever, and now it's at, I don't know, 5.3 million views. It doubled crazy. My account.
Just create content for it. That's all I tell people all the time. Just create. Don't worry about it. The more like I got a video coming out in this next week. It's all about color grading, and like it's just blatantly honest of like just if you're nobody, stop worrying about it. It will literally do nothing. It will literally do nothing because your video looks aesthetically pleasing. If it is shit, if you are a horrible storyteller, if you have no way to relate to somebody, it will not help you. And I get people all the time that are like, dude, I've invested thousands of dollars into my stuff. Check me. I used to have this whole thing where I would check other people out. We'd raid and we would kind of do like a DNP3 style. We would be live and we'd go to people's streams and give stuff like, because the amount of support at a certain time was just stupid and I don't deserve all of it. So we just gave it back to people. I think in 2020 alone, I think like $5,000 I think we gave away to like streamers and stuff like that. And all the time, these people that would be on Twitter, it's like, dude, we're working hard out here. And I go to their stream.
I'm grinding,
and it's just
man.
Like, yeah, they got this amazing setup and they're just zombie. They're zoinked. They're raging at the game. They're not interacting with their chat. And it's just like, come on, focus. Focus is so off. You gotta pick or choose. Professional players people that are aggressively good at the game can grow.
Yep.
People that are fun and entertaining can grow. You got to figure out which one you want, and then you got to do it, and you got to build content all around it. Professional players aren't going to grow just streaming 8 hours a day saying they're the best in their Twitch title. They're probably most likely also going to be putting out content on TikTok and YouTube showing them highlights of shitting on kids using SEO to get them to drag people over.
Bingo. I had a conversation with a fellow content creator not that long ago about they were really concerned that their community was super toxic. And so they reached out and they're like, how do I get out of this? And I was like, well,
stop playing Fortnite.
Well, no, it was Call of Duty, but the problem was it was a lot of search and destroy. It was a lot of search and destroy.
Yeah.
It was a lot of their videos were them being toxic. And they even responded by saying that they're in a catch-22 because that's, if they put out a video that's them being funny, it gets 0 views. If they put out a video of them being toxic, it gets 100,000. So they're like, this is how I get views. So this is the route I took. But guess what? The people that are following, subscribing, and looking for that, they're toxic players looking for toxic content. So when they turn to the stream, they want you to be toxic. That's a tough place to be versus if you can build a community doing if you're a toxic person, great, go that route. But if that's not naturally who you are, or you have to flip a switch to become that person, that's tough.
Dude, it's just like we were talking about earlier. I'm not trying to build a community of how-to creators. And it gets to the point sometimes where it's annoying because like I do like talking about some of these things to raise awareness, but I will be in a live stream and or on a TikTok, and every like fun fact guru on every platform wants to come through and just argue with me about everything and just tell me why in their experience I'm wrong about just sharing the fact that like other thing, like, hey, here's things that work. Here's and the biggest thing, like YouTube, Twitch is like the big example. I try to always touch base that Twitch is not going anywhere. There's nothing wrong with it. They're not going to end soon. But some people like they because they are content creators trying to bring in other content creators, the how-to mentality, the tutorial stuff. Some of our streams would just be horrible. With just like 20 people coming in. So what's your thoughts on this? I tell them, no, you're wrong. You're wrong, dude. You're wrong.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot. It's your full-time job. You tripled your revenue than you've ever made at any full-time position anywhere else in your life, but you're doing it all wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, So I try to, that's why I'm really trying to veer off from the tutorial side, but it's the same exact
You're
mindset.
building the community. Well,
if you don't like it, don't build a community around the people you don't want to be entertaining. I'm not hosting Biggie how-to convention this year. I'm trying to just be
Wait, you're not?
a guy on a stream.
Big Rob sold me 3 tickets to that convention.
What a damn liar. It doesn't exist.
Damn it, Robert.
He's just pocketing all his money.
Yeah.
Rob is astonishingly a guy who really helped me wake up this last year with streaming, because he just naturally just started streaming and I could see the fun and blast in it. And I had not had that for a long time on Twitch. And again, just like what you said, a lot of it is just, how did I build those first 17,000 followers? I did a lot of how-to stuff. I did a lot of information shit. If I go live on Twitch right now, I have no doubt in my mind, if I'm doing a streaming like this, we're pushing 50 to 100 viewers. The second I switch over to Warzone, I'm losing most of my viewership because that's not where I built my following there. That's why, right now I'm trying to diversify on YouTube. I'm not trying to make the same mistake while testing YouTube.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I don't want to, everybody all the time like, well, why not just use your main channel? You had 20,000 subscribers when you started streaming on YouTube. I'm not trying to ruin what I've already worked for here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to diversify here, test the waters.
That's what I was so blessed about when I first got started. I talk about Crusader spending that time with me. I mean, all of her stuff, who was a pioneer on the TikTok front, all of her stuff was personal gameplay, right? It was her doing stupid things with people laughing, funny clips, make your day more enjoyable. It was purely entertainment based. That's the type of content I produced, and I'm very, very blessed to say that's the type of community that we've built, right? Yes, we have a lot of content creators that I guarantee you, some of which are going to become frustrated with the fact that we're not going to be pumping out as much content that's here to support them as we used to.
Yes.
But with that said, the larger amount of the community has been here from day one for that nonsense, right? That gaming, that let's have fun when we go live. I want it to be a 4-hour party. I want it to be fun. I want it to be high energy. I want to be laughing. I want to be joking. I want to take you out of whatever the hell is going on in your world,
Bingo.
positive, negative, or indifferent, and have you live in our world for a little bit. Take you away from troubles, challenges, mental anxiety, depression, whatever's going on with you. Come hang out with us. Let's take that away for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And if you really want to dive into the community, we'll take that away even further. But be that outlet, right? The same way a good TV show, a good movie will be. Let's vibe and let's create positivity and energy and do that. And that's been awesome.
That's all I've ever really wanted to be. I always looked at YouTube. That's how it all started for me. When I was working the job I didn't enjoy, I was excited to get home. I was excited to be on lunch watching some YouTube creators. I was excited to get home and create YouTube videos. It drove me. And I like some people. It really is hard to have that disconnect. It's hard to have that disconnect of okay, I know how I can get viewers into my stuff by doing what I've always wanted to do, but I also don't want to ruin the vibe of what I do. I just want to be an outlet where people, if they're having a shitty day, if last year was the big one. People coming through and they just lost somebody to COVID and they can't go to their funeral. Do you know how many times that happened last year? We had my great uncle died, couldn't go to his funeral. That happened more than what people think last year. So there was a lot of negativity just as human beings last year. People lost their jobs. People were looking for new stuff.
There was a lot of shit last year. There was shit going on all across the board. And we wanted to be that outlet. And just like you mentioned, I got a ton of DMs from people talking about, hey, 2020 was tough and listing what was going on in their lives. And we had everything from, again, divorces to depression to anxiety to we had, deaths and funerals, just like everything you're mentioning. And to be that outlet is one of the biggest compliments that you could possibly get for somebody. And hey, listen, if I can do that service for you, that's big time. That's a compliment.
You know what was really tough too? This was one of the toughest things to do last year. I had quite a few homies lose their job to it. And dude, you want to be supportive of especially if they're friends, if they're actual friends. So many people, so many guys kind of, we're getting the government fund or what is
unemployment?
Self-employment. Yeah, unemployment. And they just full sent streaming. And I knew the outcome. I know what was going to happen. You can't just because you got
who loses their job and just makes a decision to go full time, guys. Could be anyone.
No, but you do content on things I just seen.
And I also had a baseline before,
and I didn't you want to be a supportive friend and just say be happy because I seen the happiness in some of these people's eyes. And then 6 months passed. They had no growth on anything besides Twitch, and same viewership, and all those gifted subs from the hype went away, and they're huge predicaments, and you just feel horrible. But it's I can't be the guy to tell everybody how to do their shit all the time because one, it's not always accurate, and two, that's not how I'm trying to grow a brand. I had to learn the hard way. Some other people have to learn the hard way too. It's unfortunate. Right. I say this all the time, and some people they really think I'm just saying it in the videos. Especially biggest problem with me in my life. Sooner we'll be able to relate in my chat. I am very dry humor, sarcastic. People cannot pick up when I'm being. My wife says it's a problem. My family says it's a problem. Her family says it's a problem. I'm very good at joking. I'm very good at not showing too much emotion, and that can correlate in other situations. And like the big thing is like, dude, I would love if everybody could just be successful. Dude, this is the fucking dream.
Yeah.
For 6 years now, I have not had to listen to anybody but myself. It's been tough. There's been ups and downs. I've done stupid shit. I had to learn from them. Lots of stupid shit. Got myself into a lot of debt. Had to work my way out of it. Grind my way out of it. But dude, I'm happy. It's a fucking blessing that I'm here. And I want more people to feel this, whether people want to believe that or not. So it's like hard.
Again, it's the difference between the inspiration and the mentoring.
Yes. And that's where this last year that's where I've been trying to do as a creator. I've been trying to raise awareness, inspire people. The whole YouTube versus Twitch stuff has been to inspire people to look big picture at things. It's 2021. Twitch is not, it's not Mixer just came out and people are like, what's the debate? Like, dude, back then, especially, like I personally, I didn't see any reason to switch to Mixer. Like Twitch was just killing it.
They're trying to play the same game with less resources. In
2021, you just gotta be really asking yourself, is it the best place for you? Because there are options right now. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where everything goes. Where all social media goes. TikTok is changing so much. Dude, TikTok's a beast in itself, like way more than what people think.
It's becoming that way. So it used to be, I got started on TikTok. I had one clip that boosted everything. In my first 4 days, I had 1,000 followers because on the fourth day had a clip that legitimately boosted everything. One clip went viral. My first
TikTok, I was just like, I'm just going to try something. So funny story real quick. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
first
good.
TikTok, blew up, 600,000 views out of nowhere. And I told Rob, I'm like, dude, this platform's insane. And he's like, dude, you should totally capitalize on it. And I'm like, Rob, you should capitalize on it too. He forgets this. Rob likes to not credit me too much. But and then when I told him about this,
Robert,
dude, he's been doing Instagram stories for like 5 years now, which has just been with how he does his Instagram stories. They've always been TikToks. I'm like, dude, you're practically a TikToker from what I've seen. Just do it on TikTok.
Yep.
And dude, like I got 1,000 followers out of nowhere. And then just like overnight, it was like within a week, it was like 50,000 crazy for him. But yeah, that's the power of TikTok.
It's nuts.
And it's still there.
It is.
It hasn't changed.
It's become, so it's to the point now where what worked before, the bar's been raised, right? I always say it as there's this baseline entry of what you need to be doing. Depending on the type of content that you produce, right? There's a baseline entry and you got to be at least above that baseline. And that baseline has gone up. It used to be all I had to do as a gaming TikTok person is upload gaming clips that were good.
Yes.
And I would get views and followers. I can't do that anymore. Now there has to be story. There has to be back,
context.
Context. And there has to be production value, and they want to see your expression. There has to be editing to it. It's really tough just to take the raw clip and go. You can do it, but it's way tougher. So the bar is being raised consistently on TikTok, and it is way harder to gain a follower today than it was 6 months ago, than it was a year ago. But the thing that I keep telling people is it's going to be way harder a year from now. Because what's happening now is now you're getting, TikTok for a while there was a playground where there was no rules. It was the Wild West. Everyone's just doing stuff. We're all in it together. Hip, hip, hooray. Now it's working. So now
everything was like that at some point. People forget that.
Bingo. Every creator's coming on. So now you're starting to get the YouTubers that are big, the content creators that are big, and them and their content teams with their 10 people staff are coming in to produce content. It's going to be way tougher a year from now than it is today. I mean, it's just, you got to be grinding.
Now's the best time to try what you want to try.
Right.
Like in any aspect.
Just do it. Just get out and keep going.
I think a lot of lesson from trying things, unironically, that after years, I'm trying YouTube streaming, and that's like the new thing that like some people are like, you're going against the grain. Because like throughout the years, a lot of my example on why I do try new things have stemmed from YouTube, because I've been around long enough to see every spike, every fall, and how people react. to YouTube. YouTube's been the big one throughout this year because there's been so many transitions on how YouTube's been as a platform and what's worked, how the algorithm has worked throughout the years, that like you can learn so much from YouTube. Like I remember the day where everything on YouTube was based on a time feed, based on upload. It was one vertical feed, just one. And like if you uploaded at 10 a.m. and I uploaded at 11, like I'm showing up at the top. That's just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no random people you've never seen before. And another big thing was if I had 10,000 subscribers and I liked your video, my 10,000 subscribers are seeing your video liked in your feed now, or my sub feed.
Yep.
Whole different ballpark. The day that changed, people in 2013, everybody said YouTube was done. This is going nowhere. An algorithm? What the fuck is that? What is an algorithm? This is stupid. This is what a way to turn your back on its creators
now.
And this is why I never cut ties with Twitch. Here's the reality. Twitch is doing some stupid shit in this last year. As a creator that's put a lot of time into them, they've done some dumb shit. Okay. They're not being too transparent. They're some of the ad stuff, like they're doing stupid shit. But every platform's done that. TikTok's going to do it eventually. Like there will be something that TikTok does that pisses people off. And lots of creators are like, F this platform, why not? Because every platform, just like creators, have to adapt over time.
Correct.
Dude, if YouTube was the way it was 10 years ago, it would have ran into the ground because everybody can't just become successful.
It has to evolve.
It's got to have dominant people. It's got to have balance. Like 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, 2018, 3 or 4, whatever. The adpocalypse, the whole PewDiePie dropping the M-bomb, like on stream, YouTube was the worst thing in the world. Why would anybody want to do YouTube? Everybody started moving to Twitch. Might I remind it that PewDiePie is still one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. YouTube is still dominating in the video aspect. And now PewDiePie is back to streaming on YouTube. Nobody even remembers that shit happened. And he pulls crazy numbers on there. So, moral is, like, things grow, people adapt. But at the end of the day, it's how you're going to adapt with those things. The reason why people like PewDiePie are so successful is they overcome those hurdles and they adapt to the way the platform changes.
Well, or they forecast. I mean, to your point, right? Let's put a summation on everything we talked about is true content creators will forecast what's coming and aren't afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
Right. Even as we're talking and I'm brainstorming ways that I can leverage YouTube to potentially do things like you mentioned of non-Warzone VODs. Right, where I go live on there to play Hitman. What I was planning on doing, honestly, because I when I went full time, is I really defined myself to become, hey, I'm going to pick 1 or 2 games and really hammer these games. I'm instead get away from variety streaming for just a little bit. But I still want to have those other games because they're good for my psyche. So I literally was just going to play them and record it offline, and just fucking upload it, and you could catch it on YouTube. But it makes way more sense to just stream it if I'm going to do it that way.
Because you cut out the whole process of having to do it. To upload and that whole process of recording and uploading. It's just a live recording of the process, and it doesn't hurt you or your brand because like your main thing. And that's why I'm trying to like doing this YouTube channel doesn't hurt my brand. It's not my main gig. It's not screwing me. It's just I'm trying it.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely, like I tell people all the time, I'm genuinely curious if and when I'll ever come back to Twitch. Like, because I have no problem with it. They do a damn good job over there of giving community features. An amazing job. That's what, even though they don't help with the brand, they keep people entertained. They keep them there, right? Like you having people aren't finding you because you have channel points engaged. They're finding you through other outlets. And then while they're there, your channel points are like, that's what's like engaging them. It's like, okay, I like this environment. This is awesome. But it's not like,
it's the 3 levers. Right?
Yeah, 10 people didn't find you like, hey, I heard you got good channel points in here. I'm coming to see what this is all about.
True. My viewers are all here because of my channel points.
There it is.
I bought them with channel points.
And gifted subs, right?
Well, they gifted. Yeah, I purchased them with channel points. I just have bots. That's all I have. It's just a bunch of bots.
And those are features that as we grow, YouTube's just gonna have to enforce those types of things. You're gonna have to do them. That's the thing. It's like YouTube's aware. They know. They know exactly when.
viewer engagement, right? I mean, it's that's the creative thing about this versus Netflix is the ability to engage with my entertainment, right? To be able to chat with them. But even as we're talking right now, like literally four different people just gambled channel points in my chat. Like even as we're talking about all this, they're just engaging on their own. You degenerates.
I just enabled that. Streamlabs finally integrated into YouTube, but like already people aren't aware of it, so they just don't even utilize it yet. But yeah, that's such a. And I will say, I know we'll probably have to tune out here soon. I will say that one thing that YouTube did make clear is, and again, people can take this with a grain of salt. They can take it with confidence. YouTube gaming straight up told me, as much as they want to compete with Twitch, YouTube is a video platform first. And that's what attributes to its much larger success. That's why it's the second most watched device in the world on both TV and phone next to Netflix. It's meaning like if people are watching something on TV, it's Netflix on average is the highest thing. YouTube's number 2.
Yep.
It's the number 2 most searched website in the world behind Google, which is so it's like it's all there, right? But yeah, I don't know. Just so much interesting stuff to learn.
And that's why you can't be afraid to try new things. You can't be afraid to explore, to do that content consumption, to see what's out there, give things a run, see if you like it or not. Because at the end of the day, if you're running your business and you find a service or a tool that can help you better build your business or make things more efficient, then that's advantageous for you, right? So if I can leverage a service out of YouTube or a service out of Instagram or Twitter or any of these, right? Clubhouse. I mean, new ones that are coming onto the market
I need to get into those. I need to figure out those.
People aren't talking about yet, but again, if you get in the ground floor and it ends up, that's why I'm hammering stories. It's not saturated. People don't get it.
No.
If you hammer it and you can build an audience, you can be first. Stupid Ready Player One, first to the key, right? I mean, that's it though.
I think a general sum up of everything is, personally, me as a creator, because you've talked mental health and everything. Whatever decision you're making with anything, like there's stress and numbers. We all do it. Look at your happiness. That's all I say. Look at your happiness. Are you happy on whatever platform you're streaming on? But you feel like you could improve. Well, improve and just stay on whatever platform you're on. If you're not happy, make a change. Period. Because some people's morals are different. That's where things have changed in the last 6 months. I'm again like it's like the anger factor. God damn you, Twitch! Why are you doing this? Like I've done so much for you, and that's just a personal thing. That's not you can't like put that on paper. That's just how I feel. And the big common thing I'm seeing through videos is so many people are like, I've lost my trust in Twitch. Okay, well then don't stay there. Try something else. But if it doesn't work, like maybe that's not what it was. Maybe it's not Twitch.
My challenge to that, the only challenge that I would throw out there is just very simply though, you gotta, if you're unhappy, do an analysis of why you're unhappy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's where you start.
Because moving platforms is not going to save you.
Correct.
If you're not creating good content.
Yes.
Right. So if you're unhappy because of your growth, okay, what about your growth is actually going on? Where's your bottleneck happening? Right. When you produce XYZ, what is your output? You don't produce XYZ. Well, there's your problem.
Yeah.
Right. Don't be so quick to say, well, this is going to fix it, because so often it's not a one-time fix. If you're not seeing growth the way that you think you should, or a healthy kind of margin, you have to do the full analysis on everything to say, okay, am I doing this? Check. Am I doing this? Check. Am I doing this? Check. And so often when you go through somebody who's struggling, there's a ton of missing data. There's a ton of things they're not doing that
it's like when you see people just always shifting careers. Dude, maybe you would have actually enjoyed the first thing that you did, but you just did it wrong.
Correct.
It doesn't mean that you just gotta switch all, you know what I mean? So,
but again, if Twitch, if it's something that's Twitch related, that's frustrating you, or Twitch is not allowing me to do this, or Twitch is disarming this, and I can pinpoint that they are the issue, then then there is alternatives and there are options. But find what you like. Yeah. That's it, man.
Awesome. Holy shit. 3 hour, 15 minute. We almost beat me and Rob's record. How bad do you got to pee right now? I like to make this public.
I'm an ox.
I'm about to piss my pants. I got a baby bladder.
Nah, I'm an ox.
Yeah, me and Rob did like a 4 hour, like once, and Rob literally was like, "You got to end this stream. I got to piss so bad." I'm like, "Yeah, I do too." So this is perfect.
This is Rob's a little baby.
He's got a little baby bladder too.
I
got baby bladders. I will say, when I was when I was bigger, I could handle my pee better. I don't know. Maybe it's
You're also, the difference is you also been drinking here this whole time.
dude,
I'm a camel.
got a gallon, drank a gallon.
I finished my coffee and that was it.
Yeah, I had a coffee, I had a juice press, and a gallon of water while we were live.
Yeah, see? No, I had nothing.
Health.
No liquids.
See, chat, health isn't always good.
Yeah.
You gotta
see?
pee.
Be unhealthy.
Is that what we're ending off with?
You heard it here first.
Just mental health first.
Mental health is huge. Physical health, let it go.
Let it go.
You don't need water. That's false advertising.
I would literally drink coffee 24/7 if my body would be okay with that. Because coffee is the best tasting thing in the world.
Yeah, exactly. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Seriously, I think this has been wildly productive for not only for me to be able to have this type of conversation, but Big Rob's in my chat now. What's up, Rob?
Look at that guy.
Little Robert.
Big thing. Big shout out I want to give you is as a creator, I want to thank you for being. Again, I don't think a lot of people would have the maturity level in hearing and having the actual conversation, because like you're somebody that's experiencing good growth on Twitch, right? And I mean, obviously a lot of it comes from your business background and stuff, but talking about these things as a person who's doing well on another platform and a person who's doing well on another platform, as Kyle Driver just said in chat, I'm glad that you're not a dingus. I'm glad that you're not being a dingus. I'm glad that you and honestly, a lot of these other TikTok guys, like, dude, so many have been mutuals, like Kyle and Deadly, like, have been so supportive in both of us. And just for anybody listening, I'd say just like, dude, creators come first, health, mental health, like we just said. But like, dude, just respect everybody's process, and I very much appreciate that you're respecting mine.
I appreciate
it, and I respect the hell out of yours, which is awesome.
I think at the end of the day, right, anybody who's coming from TikTok is already a little bit in the experimental phase, right? We all kind of rolled the dice a little bit. So that being the case, I think we're always, the majority of us, especially the ones that are taking off, are open to finding opportunities and leveraging and saying, what's next? Yeah. Right? I mean, we all faced this 3 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever that was, when we all feared that TikTok was getting shut down. Yeah. Our marketing. So everybody, the huge conversation about where are we going? What are we doing? What's the next move? Because we got to stay mobile, because that's what good content creators do, is they are always forecasting for what's coming and what opportunities may be there, and what's something that I need to be investing time and energy in right now that could be long-term success, and what's not. And YouTube streaming is something that's relatively new onto the stream, as far as at least its trajectory and its growth, right? It's always kind of been there, but they're really investing in it now. Right. And so starting to really take a peek at, hey, where's this going to be? Where's this going to go? So I'm excited for it. I am. I like watching this stuff. All right, dude. Best of luck to you as well. I hope everybody's chat. We'll have to play games here soon. Yeah, anytime. I'm going to go piss my parents now. Be well. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Love you. I'll see you, brother.